greatest thing I've ever seen. You're overdue. I just felt it's something that makes you look good, and that's cool, and you know, I'm all for it, but I think you need to tone this down because now it's getting obtrusive to the show. But they can go in the afternoon for a U.S.
Hold
show,
on a second.
as they did there, and they
Dave?
can do 180,000 buys for an afternoon show, which they've also done for All In. So
Okay,
we
hold
know
on.
they can do. We know they can do big.
Can I
numbers for an
continue
afternoon.
this before you cut me off? We
Yes,
know
go ahead.
one thing.
Yes.
We know it
No, I'm not
might have done well because
I'm
it went
not-
on first.
I'm not saying it would.
Here's my thing, Dave.
But here's okay. Wait. Okay, here's the thing. Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. I mean, it didn't mean anything to me. It was just a match.
That's the problem, Dave. It should mean something to you.
Give him a quick squash win just to show that, like, you know, he's not a loser.
Ooh, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Dave Meltzer Dumb Moment of the Week. I am your host, Phil Marks of Pro Wrestle Times, and we are live here on YouTube with the replay airing wherever you listen to podcasts, of course. And if you'd like to support this show, hit like and subscribe, or consider super chatting in or becoming a member or whatever. I'll be responding to those at the end of the show. And tonight we have Dave Meltzer blaming WWE for Andrade signing an AEW contract, which I guess then in turn is what injured Kota Ibushi, how the WWE locker room shouldn't and doesn't trust Seth Rollins anymore, or pardon me, WWE in general in the office anymore because of Seth Rollins' injury, which I guess in turn is saying they don't trust him either. And slew of other injuries. Ridge Holland, of course, an update with what's going on with him and Dave's take on it all. And I am very excited for this show. So without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for everybody's favorite segment turned podcast. And it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. Oh, yes. I've been waiting for this one. So we talked about it before, and, we are here with another episode of Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week, and we talked about Ridge Holland a little bit before on PWT Live Show, okay? But Ridge Holland was reportedly, according to Dave Meltzer, on NXT Money after WWE moved him back to the developmental brand. Now, what you're going to notice throughout this segment tonight is Dave Meltzer is going to try and blame WWE for everything. It's like Canada. Blame Canada. Blame Canada. Right? He's going to blame them for Ibushi being injured, for Andrade. It's somehow WWE's fault that and Andrade should sue WWE because Andrade and AEW and their lawyers are too dumb to fucking realize he's under two contracts at once or whatever. And another thing is he says that there's distrust backstage in the locker room, and that's what a lot of dirt sheets have been parroting lately and a lot of sickos. And that's because of the Ridge Holland situation, which is kind of fucking morbid. I'm not going to lie. And it's also because of the Seth Rollins situation. Because he's work shooted injuries before, and if this is a shoot work brother, then hey, you guys know my take on that. I went off on that on a members show, I believe. So Ridge Holland, though, was reportedly on NXT Money after WWE moved him back to the developmental brand. And Dave says, with Ridge Holland. Or maybe this was Alvarez. To be honest, Bryan, who blocked me, by the way. We have big news. Bryan Alvarez blocked me since episode 2 of Double DMW. But, this might be Bryan because he was breaking a bunch of this news as well. So I'm going to read it in Dave, but the way it's written here, I think it's Bryan. Maybe I'll read it in Bryan. We'll just read it and see where we go. With Ridge Holland, I know people have been saying he was making main roster money, but he wasn't. When they sent him back to NXT and he was there for years, I think a couple of years at least, he was making NXT money. It's Bryan, yeah. He was not making main roster money anymore. So it's not like he's making some giant main roster contract. He was making NXT money. And they won't even pay that during the time that he's out with his injury. And so what happened with Ridge is pretty sad. Like, he got hurt. He's not getting paid for the 6 months that he's out hurt. On November 14th, his money's up, you know? It's unfortunate. He says he has a family of 5, and he says he's going to start a coaching business, and I wish him all the best, online coaching, and he should do that. And I pitched an idea where he should like do an old 80s Simon Dean infomercial type, you know, like, but like 80s life coaching, you know, sort of mock the modern influencer, but you're doing it like a throwback. And he should completely go heel and run the character all the way to AEW if he can get money. TNA, just reinvent himself. He can't be the steam pig or like, oh, I'm a muscly brute guy. Oh, I am. He can't do that, you know? But yeah, so hopefully that he gets signed somewhere good. So Dave Meltzer started talking about ratings, okay? And there's going to be lots of Dave Meltzer ratings talk and numbers. There always is laced throughout this as well. And Dave Meltzer, well, before we get to that, let's see if there's any more Ridge the Fridge in here, okay? What Dave likes to do, and this is when it came to the War Games as well, him being wrong about that. I'm just going to quickly see if there's any more Ridge the Fridge in here. I don't think there is. Yeah, so this is what Dave had to say, actually. So now Dave loves Vince McMahon. Not actually, but, you know, Meltzer said what, and others have pointed out, like, how fucked up it is that Dave's now whipping out. He hates WWE so much that he's actually going, well, if Vince was there, you know, this wouldn't have happened. He would have gotten his full pay, Bryan. And it's like, dude, girls would have got pooed on, allegedly. You know, so pick your poison. My God.
Allegedly.
Right? Punk had to pay his whole fucking surgery leaving AEW. You didn't have a problem with that, crybaby Dave.
Maybe not even a month ago. Ridge Holland went down, and Moose had to help him out of the ring. He broke his foot. He had surgery, and he's going to be out for 7 months. They told him that we're not renewing your deal when it comes up in November. I guess they're going to pay for the rehab, but basically he's unemployed for 6 months and he can't wrestle.
If Vince was there, they would probably
the best guy
not fire him until after he was healthy. The new ownership, they are cold, and they are out for
cold-blooded
profits in any way possible. In this case, when it comes to talent,
they're out for profits in any way possible. Dude, it's Ridge. Why did Wesley get released? Are you sure it has nothing to do with they were gonna release him? He was in TNA, he was in Evolve and shit. They called him the Steam Pig or the Sweat Hog. He's 37. Wesley got released. He's 37 coming up. You don't think maybe it's because of that? Like, we just don't. We'd rather have Sheamus on his own. Sheamus is getting big money and is like part-time now again because we have a bloated, older roster right now. I just don't think they see a spot for Wesley or Ridge the Fridge, bro. I really, you know, the injury's unfortunate. But it's not like they waited till he was injured and then made all these cuts. They made a bunch of cuts. So I do think it is cold-blooded. Like, it'd be cool if WWE, like, they'll send fucking guys on drugs to rehab for 6 months or 3 months or whatever. Pay them 3 extra months because, you know, reach out to them. Pick up the phone. Triple H, sure, I encourage that. But at the same time, dude, like, what are we honestly talking about here? We could go into any restaurant or any business and fucking make a case like that to whoever owns it or is responsible for, like, you know, hiring, firing, cutting the cost. It sucks, man. It sucks, but it's what happens.
You know, I mean, like, there is no heart at all.
With
no
Kylie
heart.
Ray, you know, we mentioned how little she was being paid anyway.
There's no heart, Bryan. What about Kylie Ray? Dude. And then they bring up how little she was being paid. Meanwhile, if you go to AEW and you don't get used and you just get paid to sit at home, Dave and Bryan will fucking, they'll clap like fucking seals for that. Kylie Ray, what she wanted to do was be in WWE, but not like be on Raw and SmackDown and shit. Okay. That's at least my understanding of her situation. She's, blessed to be a part of WWE in that way and help usher in this whole ID thing where you have fucking podcasts that talk about Evolve, like Just Watch Evolve and shit and react to it and stuff, like it's created fan interest. That's largely because of her. And yeah, she was getting paid a bit, probably not like as much as a main roster person, but she's not on the main fucking roster and she's about to have a baby. And they're like, we're not going to re-sign you. And they didn't re-sign a bunch of people. And you might be like, damn, she's pregnant, though. They need to keep her on the roster. I fucking agree. If I was the one with the hundreds of billions. So the assessment that, like, they're cold-blooded and shit, we know. Keep the same fucking energy or stop being doom and gloom about, like, okay, she's going to be gone for 9 months. She was on, like, an indie WWE deal. If she was on Raw or SmackDown, they wouldn't have cut her like that just because she's fucking pregnant, right? It's just, the thing is she's where she's at. And she didn't seem hard up about it either. Like, Dave, you guys are like virtue signaling on behalf of her, who wrote a fucking amazing tweet being like, oh, it was, I don't know, we read it on the show already, so I'm not gonna like paraphrase it here. Oh, I'm a girl. That's the route it sounded like I was going there, but yeah, that's more like Alvarez in this video. Let's listen.
Wasn't making anything.
Yes, and with Ridge Holland, I know people have been saying that he was like making main roster money, but he wasn't. When they sent him back to NXT,
oh, so here's the quote that I read. We should have just waited for Try Bryan.
And he was there for like years, I think, a couple of years at least. He was making NXT money. He was not making main roster money.
Making NXT money.
So it's not like he's making some giant main roster contract. He was making NXT money, and they won't even pay that during the time that he's out.
It's the Illuminati, man. They took me down. StreamYard hates me or something. I swear to God. Meltzer did it. Yeah. Anyways, sorry, guys. Okay, so I don't know. This keeps happening on Wednesdays or Thursdays, rather. I mean, it's like Dave's fucking. He's got the hit out, man. I don't know what's going on. Yeah, I think it's all good now. Everyone, welcome again to Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of the week. Sorry about that. We were just rolling too. We were just getting in the groove, man. Here we go. Everybody's here. It's all good. Plenty and saying I got booted from the stream yesterday. It kept crashing. Yeah, no, I just back. It should be all good. I swear it was like Twitter was like reload and shit. I'm like, what the fuck's going on? So I don't know. I think we're all good. Let's get back into things, guys. We were rocking and rolling. And I was going off about trying Bryan, but basically what I was saying was that Bryan will bring up doom and gloom when it comes to AEW, but he does it to like Lance Storm and Phil. He doesn't do it to Dave all the time. He does it in like a schmarmy, laughy way. And I was doing a good impression, but I don't know if you guys allegedly. I don't know if any of my impressions are that great. But anyways, moving along. Thanks everybody for sticking around. I definitely need to work out that kink. It seems like every Thursday though that happens like once a double DMW. It's like, what the fuck is going on? So anyways. When it comes to Ridge the Fridge here, we have Dave Meltzer Fantasy Mark booking. He talked about Ridge the Fridge. He also talked about Andrade. He went as far as saying that, Vince McMahon, if it was Vince, they wouldn't have done that. Right? He talks about AEW a bit. He talks about ratings. Any fantasy Mark books some stuff. And one of those things that he fantasy Mark books is that like there's distrust in WWE because they've worked shoots before and all of this shit, right? Which is, I mean, that's fair to assume, like, okay. But at the same time, they understand. I think the wrestlers in WWE understand when this it's not like they're going out there in Montreal screw jobbing people and not telling anyone and going, hey, well, but it is, I think, when it comes to TKO, you're like, oh shit, those budget cuts are coming once or twice a year. And I really hope I'm not one of the people who get fucking cut, right? Obviously. But then when it comes to like the backstage, if Seth Rollins has to work an injury, I think they all know why that's being done because you dirt sheet fucking marks ruin everything. You spoil everything. And yeah. The fun is in fantasy Mark booking it, right? So I do give Dave credit when he fantasy Mark book shit, but he just doesn't approach it as such. But the one thing he's been saying is that the lack of trust within WWE is said to be pretty high because of the previous Seth Rollins injury, which is like, okay, you could make that up pretty easily. Like anyone could say that, but Meltzer stated the following: one source with knowledge of creative. One source with knowledge of creative.
The best guys, Tony Khan.
So, like, he just talks so fucking silly. It's like, dude, my source in creative. One source with knowledge of creative. What does that mean? Like finger paintings? Said the Vision were booked for plans together through WrestleMania, including with Austin Theory joining the group before things changed today. Yeah, I would say don't add Austin Theory to the group now, but when Seth was in it, that would have worked. That would have actually been awesome. They were told, except actually, Bryan, it was from, these guys, on an injury in the match with Cody Rhodes. But after being told his other injury was legit, many are not fully believing many. Or are they just telling you that so I can make fun of you on my show? Right? Weigh it out, Davey. So Dave also talks about his news and when he's wrong about shit, because he said Austin Theory and Brock Lesnar in the War Games, and then now it's like Wyatt Six in the Floodline or whatever. So, WWE said, bitch. And Dave goes, it's not predictions. It's a spoiler. No, I added that last bit, but he goes, it's not predictions. It was the internal lineup sheet as of 2 weeks ago. These things always change for a variety of reasons. Injuries, reaction to ratings, new ideas. It's all laid out in the article, Bryan. And Dave's not wrong. These things do change, and I'm sure that maybe Austin Theory was pitched at some point, and his name's been thrown around about how they can bring him back and do so impactfully, and everyone knows Paul Heyman's high on him, and Dave's just like high on mushrooms or something because he can't get it together. But he says he lays it all out in the article. There's a variety of reasons, injuries, whatever. And that's true, but I mean, I don't know. Like, I think Dave's being worked, or whoever his source is like some fucking errand boy, like someone who just doesn't really know. He just goes and reports to Dave, whatever. Some people say it's Terry Taylor and shit. That could be. But if it's him, then WWE tells him to tell Dave fake shit, or they wouldn't keep Terry Taylor around if he was stooging like seriously serious shit. And that's why Dave has no breaking news. And to give other dirt sheets credit, he fucking lifts their stories all the time. So Dave Meltzer said, unfamiliar night for AEW. So this is like Dave's cope over ratings here. He goes, ratings ended up 625K, 0.12 for NXT, and 321K, 0.07 for Dynamite. Last year, same circumstance was 874.24 and 329. Doesn't include Max and had the unfamiliar night. More details in the issue. He's trying to paint this narrative of like, well, actually, NXT did double their rating last time, and AEW did pretty much the same rating. And without the Max number, this means they did 80 bagillion jillion, Bryan. That's all he's trying to do. And it's just this weird, like, fucking no serious person takes how he does these, like, mental gymnastic manipulations serious. And that is fucked for NXT, though. It is. But again, just you know what he's going to fucking, how he's going to try and spin this shit. And he already did. This was a while ago. But Dave Meltzer had this to say. Paul Levesque has missed some shows as of late. So more of the doom and gloom from Dave Meltzer. Doom and gloom Meltzer. Okay. He goes, Paul Levesque has missed some shows of late, and it's led to people saying his political priorities have started to hurt the company. One person close to Levesque disagreed with this claim, saying that he has not missed any creative meetings, and his schedule is all worked out in advance. Oh my God. So, Dave, what are you saying, you dumbass? What a fucking stupid idiot.
Stupid idiot.
So he goes, Paul. So he just states something matter-of-factly. Paul Levesque has missed some shows of late, and it's led to people saying his political priorities have started to hurt the company. So it's led to people saying this thing that there's no one can corroborate, no one will cop to. It's just some shit I made up. One person close to Levesque disagreed with this entirely, saying that he has not missed any creative meetings, and his schedule is all worked out in advance. So do you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say he did miss meetings, whatever. Some like lowly cameraman, Smark, or whoever it is that's telling Dave's shit. They're telling him one thing. And then the second part is like, what, Terry Taylor's close to Triple H? Like, who the fuck do you know, Dave? And then why even state the one? Many people say this, but then someone close to him said that's entirely bullshit. It's like, okay. You're just trying to create doom and gloom. It's like fear mongering. It's like what the news does, dude. So Seth Rollins versus Roman Reigns was reportedly tentatively scheduled for WrestleMania 42. And so Meltzer says Seth Rollins was tentatively scheduled to wrestle Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I don't know this, but I have been told enough things to where I expect there to be a turn on Rollins at some point. So he says, I don't know this for sure, but I've been told enough things to where I expected there to be a turn on Rollins at some point. You mean like watching the show? You mean like it's pro wrestling, and so the faction always turns on someone? You mean like that, Dave? Jesus Christ. I was told enough stuff that Dave is literally sitting here saying, I was told enough stuff that you guys weren't told, but when you watched the show, you all came to the same conclusion. It's not a matter of if, but when. Because we all fantasy mark book the shit and we can all get to the conclusion. It's the ride. It's not the end of the fucking story. It's the ride that takes you there that counts. And Dave Meltzer's sitting here going, oh yeah, I was told more secret shit, basically is what he's saying. I know enough that you guys don't know that I expected it would happen at some point. Oh, you mean like watching the show, Dave? Holy fuck. Holy. So he says the whole thing with this faction was not about Rollins. It was about Breakker and making Braun Breakker the next Roman Reigns. I doubt it was going to be this early. Fuck, man. So the current War Games plans, and this is what Meltzer was spurging out about earlier. He's like, you know, these aren't predictions. These things are told to me, and then they end up wrong, and it's like, well, okay, but you were told the wrong thing. No, I wasn't, because at the time it was right. If you just play that game this whole time, Dave, it's people just are not willing to give you credit for shit anymore. That's what's happened. You lose credibility. So the current War Games plans will see CM Punk, Roman Reigns, Jacob Fatu, Jey Uso, and either Jimmy Uso or LA Knight versus Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Brock Lesnar, and Austin Theory. And that ain't the case at all. It's like the Wyatt Six and shit. So I missed this when it came to Ridge the Fridge and Tryin' Bryan. I was looking for this tweet here, and I fucked up and skipped over it there. But Bryan Alvarez had this to say after he blocked PWT, by the way.
Bryan.
Why'd he do that,
I
Lex?
don't know.
Me neither. So Bryan says, okay, they are letting his contract expire 1 month into a 7-month recovery from a serious injury he suffered in a match they arranged, leaving him without income during that recovery. How is that any better or worse than if they'd cut him instead? I don't know, guy. Why are you virtue signaling for this guy that you all wanted his head on a stake for breaking Biggie's neck? You and your fucking clown brigade led and helped galvanize a bunch of sickos to hate on fucking Ridge Holland and call him a piece of shit for the last 3 years and fucking say you hate him and shame him and we don't want him, literally scoffing at the prospect of him showing up in an AEW. Now you guys are going to fucking ride for him. Oh, why wouldn't they just do this thing? I don't know, man. I don't know. Ask Tony Khan. Ask Dave. He seems to have all the fucking answers. Bryan, you don't care. Stop pretending you care. Fuck. So, Dynamite Dave, he gives his critique of Dave Ebert's critique review of the Smashing Machine and his traditional assessment of San Jose theater pops. And so if you guys don't recall, you know, Meltzer said what before posted this thing about how Dave Meltzer, well, this is it right here. Actually, just screen grab the post. So in 2019, Dave Meltzer goes, I was just at a movie theater, and when Reigns was on the screen, no reaction. Ask 100 people on the street. Hogan, Rock, Cena, and Rousey are the only ones half will know. And it's so funny because this shit blew up in his face. Now people know Roman, they know Rhodes, they know fucking all these guys. Right? And it just blew up in his face, which is so hilarious. But then I guess he went and saw the Smashing Machine. Here's his and then he reported on the massive pop. So then years later, Dave reports on no. Sorry. What did he say here? No, this is Meltzer said what, making fun of him. So Meltzer said what years later when MJF's in that A24 movie, The Iron Claw. Okay, I'm trying to think of the name. So in The Iron Claw, Meltzer said, what goes, Dave, don't forget to report the massive pop that MJF gets from the movie theater audience when MJF appears on screen for 30 seconds in the Iron Claw, unlike the time Roman Reigns didn't get a reaction in some random San Jose theater for Hobbs and Shaw. Right? So he's just pulling his card, and then here's what Dave had to say about Smashing Machine. Okay? So here's Dave at the movies.
You know, poor people don't like AEW.
Dave goes, I saw the movie on a Wednesday night, actually at I think except it was 8:45 p.m. I got to the theater a few minutes before the movie was to start, knowing there was no chance I couldn't get a seat. Jesus, what a schmarmy, condescending motherfucker. Now he's a film critic. I'd be the top politician in the world, Bryan, if I wasn't reporting on wrestling. I would be the #1 NFL sports broadcaster. Stephen A. Smith, move out of the way. Eat your heart out, Skip Bayless. He's such an LA bitch. He goes, when I went to get a ticket and saw the seating map, actually every single seat was unoccupied. Oh, you mean like an AEW show? And you never fucking and you never bring that up? A couple did come in, so it was 3 of us in a medium-sized theater. I was watching them from afar. She had red hair, sunspots on her cheek. She had a beautiful smile and lips like licorice twists, Bryan. I mean, diary. I mean, Wrestling Observer newsletter. There were no reactions from the other 2 at any point. Dave's a fucking sick freak. Dude, you're watching them to see. Dave's in a theater watching people in the theater to see if they fucking react to what's going on. There was no reaction. It couldn't have been good, Bryan. I knew I'd be drawn into the Iron Claw comparisons. I saw that one in a pretty packed theater in Santa Barbara, and the audience was reacting to everything. People crying left and right, shocked, asking questions. Most didn't know the story, and if you don't, it was something. So now Dave Meltzer, in his infinite fucking stupidity, is now shitting on Mark Kerr and his real life tragedy that he went through because you're a fucking clown and you're just trying to shit on Dewey and WWE and UFC, actually.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
I went and saw the Iron Claw that MJF was in, and it was packed at this theater. Dude, yeah, the movie business is different. It's not 2019. It's an entirely new decade that we're halfway through. And people have to literally select what movie they go see at summer and at fall and around Christmas and shit. You stupid idiot. Oh my God. Everyone was crying, talking, phoning home to their parents at Iron Claw. Yeah, Dave, I went to a theater. It was like not as full as I thought. It was like not even half full. And yeah, there were some people crying. I guess, I don't know. My wife was tearing up and nobody knew what MJF was, if that's what you're trying to imply, right? I mean, it's clearly MJF's a bigger box office attraction, Bryan. It's what he's literally trying to do. He's just a petty little bitch. Shout out John Lovitz. It stinks. So moving along here, Dynamite Dave. He's speaking about, well, we'll talk more about the WWE and political stuff. Then we'll get to the Kota Ibushi stuff. Okay. So Dave Meltzer had this to say. He completely makes up a lie. And he goes, those that have and still do solidly back Triple H have said, and when he's saying this, he means like Terry Taylor, bro. said that he wants to be Dana White, basically positioned to the crowd as the biggest star of the brand. One person even used the term Dana Envy. No, Dave, you made up Dana Envy. Vince McMahon. Hey, Dave, here you go, stupid. Ready? I'm going to give you a fucking history lesson because I study and learn.
Just in, we have confirmed that Dave Meltzer fears PWT and flutes.
So Vince McMahon became like the face. I'm the guy in charge, pal, of WWF, right? Same way Eric Bischoff, you could say, even innovated that first. He's with the NWO, all that shit, right? He was on commentary and he's like the face and he's the guy promoting everything. And then Dana White saw that. And when he bought the UFC, he copied Vince in that regard, you dumbass. Everyone fucking knows this. Okay? MMA, UFC copied WWE and pro wrestling. And then it got to a point now where WWE's starting to copy fucking MMA and shit. Because TKO took it all, Endeavor, everything took it all to a whole other level. And now WWE's in some fronts learning how to make their shit feel like more big fight feeling sports based again, which they kind of lost for a long time. So it's funny when he says this shit, Dana Envy. Like, who said that to you? Just say who said that to you, or don't make that up. Or just you say it. Like when I call you a dumbass, Dave, I'm calling you a dumbass, dude. You fear flutes. I'm saying you fear flutes. That's what I said. That's what I think of you. Right? So just you say that what you're saying is Dana Envy, okay? Stand on your shit. So he goes, one person near the top. So who's that? Who the fuck is that then? Shawn Michaels? Road Dogg? Who's that near the top? Said they did not believe his attempt to become the Dana of the group have hurt the product at all. No, you need the face that runs the place. This is why AEW sucks, right? The fucking guy that's in charge of it all, we know he's like a middle schooler, all grown up. Silver spoon, rich kid. Like, we all know this shit. He's just out of touch with regular people. He's not creative. He just likes writing matches down on paper. He goes, I've been booking Dynamite for 30 years since I was a kid. No, you've been writing matches down on paper. You weren't writing promos for Invisible. Yes, I was. Okay, but they were shit. And you're not a good writer. And it shows through this then. You know what I mean? Like, all is just showing you don't get what the fuck you're doing. It's all you're admitting to. So for 30 years, you're stuck. When I say, oh, it's like for a middle schooler, AEW's like what middle schoolers think is cool. Oh, Tony Khan goes, I've been writing this since I was 12. Well, then that answers it. You just confirm what I'm saying. All the sickos, I want fucking apologies. Dave Meltzer, I want apologies. I want flutes being played in the streets, goddammit. Okay? But this whole Dana Envy thing, like, yeah, we need a face that runs the place. Tony Khan's not a good face that runs any place. Even Ava gets shitted on all the time. All the time people shit on her because she's not good enough to be the person in charge there. Some people say, use Regal. Use Jarrett. Okay, Tony's the boss, but have Jarrett or Big Show. Jarrett and Big Show. How about that? Big Show's his enforcer or something. And they are just the guys who run the show. And there's too much chaos going around. And if you don't like what fucking, we're going to get things back in order here in AEW, Big Show punch you in the fucking face. Nobody believes in Tony Khan. They don't believe in this fucking hype anymore. We know that all the hype, all the gaslighting you did was a lie. It was just you. Oh, this is the greatest thing. That's all it was, Dave.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
And you know, you need Dana White type guy. Before Dana, who was it? Vince McMahon, like an Eric Bischoff. Oh, you mean like a Paul Heyman type guy? Oh, yeah. So he's the new face of WWE instead of it just being faceless. And the only time that you see fucking Tony Khan, he's going, I feared for my life. And then you see the footage and it's just like a TV got wiggled next to him. It's sports and entertainment. So this in the sporting aspect, you know who the head coach is, you know who the fucking GM is, right? It's pretty crazy. So I don't know, dude, just to call it Dana Envy. No, he's not envious of Dana, but it's definitely something maybe he aspires to, like, yeah, I could be, but he is that already. What the fuck? Like, I don't get what anybody's saying. He is that. if Triple H goes away one day, okay, The Rock wanted to be that a little bit too. He pretends he is. Oh, I have a little say in who Cena gets booked against. Okay, then it's Stephanie McMahon. Are you going to get triggered over that and cry over that too? Is that Dana White envy? If it's Stephanie, like who does it got to be? Dave just wants Tony Khan to buy a WWE. That's all he wants, and then he'll be happy. Then he can go. Then he'll fucking retire and rest easy and stop crying. But and stop making up shit like Dana envy. What? Oh, like Dana White privilege? That was another one. So, Dave says they said the product would be no different if he was around 24/7 or micromanaged everything like Vince did. There's a major consensus that things are better for everyone with him in charge rather than McMahon. Exactly. So shut the fuck up, quit crying. And like, okay, Triple H and WWE, they're like cleaning up the mess of Vince still. And Dave has the audacity to go, if Vince was there, he wouldn't have released Ridge the Fridge, the GOAT. 5 stars, the new Fletcher. Like, come on, man. It's way better. Stop crying. So, Dave had this to say. Triple H has missed some recent WWE shows, which has reportedly caused people to say his political priorities have hurt WWE. We covered that already. And then he literally, the next sentence, or at least the quote we saw from WrestlePeers, he goes on to say, yeah, but someone close to him said that that's entirely fucking false. So, here's Dave Meltzer arguing with Josh Eisenberg. So Dave Meltzer responds to Josh Eisenberg, who says, no reason to lie, but no real sources. And this Josh Eisenberg gentleman just calls out Dave Meltzer, right? And Josh Eisenberg here, just for those of you who don't know, he is I forget what the fuck he is. He's something on TV. He does something on TV, I believe, right? And he goes, I don't subscribe, or Dave Meltzer says, this is such a bad week to make that conjecture. Dave Meltzer will come off the back of like classically bad weeks, and then he'll sit there and go, oh yeah, this week has been one of the best ever for me. Meanwhile, it's like one of the worst weeks ever. Everyone's certain Santos is going to AEW. He just re-signs with WWE. Every single story Dave gets wrong, he sits there and goes, yeah, but at the time, that's what it was. So then you were never wrong. You're 100% all the time. That can't be true either, Dave. That's the thing. He wants to pretend that he's 100% all the time. That cannot be true. You're not 100% all the time. So Dave goes, this is such a bad week to make that conjecture. No real sources has for years broken all the big Mania stuff months before it happens. You'd have to both never read an issue and have no clue of what's reported to say that. You have to never read an issue. He talks about the Observer like it's the Bible. And also only listen to the highest level of frauds. The highest level of frauds. Like yourself. And where does Dave, like, he has this way of talking, the highest level of frauds, they fear it. Like, where's he hearing this, like, vernacular, you know? And then this guy says, I don't subscribe because I don't want to waste money. You've been wrong much more than you've been right. Provide an example that you knew that the plan was AJ and Cena. Blur out the names of your sources for journalistic reasons. Prove them. Eric Bischoff is right about you. Well, it's true. And then Meltzer blocked him, though, real quick after saying that to him. So do you know what I mean? Like Meltzer, so he just says, you're fucking, Dave, you're wrong. Meltzer goes, oh, man, you completely got owned here. You listen to frauds. Then he blocks right away. So it's like, okay, if it's true that what he's saying is fraudulent and bullshit, he's not saying anything like sexual or like derogatory or anything that you could put as like, oh, that's just like weirdo. What the fuck is this guy saying? He's not saying anything like that warrants a block right away. He's just like, oh, you fucking suck and you're a fraud. And then he just blocks him right away. No prior interactions, at least not that I know of. And then he just writes this paragraph, like projecting on this dude. And it's like, Dave, if you were actually right and confident in your response to this guy, you wouldn't have blocked him right after. Or maybe they've been going at it. I don't know. Because it's like if some people have a couple interactions or something, and then you just decide, yeah, fuck this person. I totally get that, right? The block's there for a reason. And it's your social media. Like, your social media is not a fucking democracy, you know? The mute button's there for a fucking reason. You don't need to let anyone on there you don't want, right? So, but when it comes to just like the way Dave handles the shit, he will sit there and like write this whole paragraph, condescend, and then ultimately, though, you know he doesn't believe what he's fucking saying because he blocked the dude. Or what he'll do to guys like Nicolo Piccolo is he will fucking talk to other people through him. Do you know what I mean? Or through other people to him. Do you know what I'm saying? So he'll address what Nick's been saying that day, but he won't respond to him. Or like he'll address what Bischoff's been saying that day. Sometimes he's kind of gone at Bischoff, but he'll address what like a Bischoff's saying, but he'll say it to like a sicko. He won't do it like through Bischoff, but he's clearly like upset about that and like watching, prowling what everyone's tweeting about him and shit. Vanity searching. It's psychotic, you know? So Dave Meltzer had this to say about Collision. AEW Collision ratings up despite strong competition. It's so cute when he does this. And so Dave Meltzer starts, we have a bunch of clips that we're going to watch of Dave Meltzer and react to and listen to. So also we have, what is this here? So here's Bryan Alvarez again, trying Bryan, like just melting down about this Moose stuff. Or I mean, this Ridge versus Moose stuff, and doesn't understand, like, bro, you don't need to virtue signal this hard for fucking Ridge. And Alvarez responds to Ridge. He quote tweets Ridge the Fridge's post, and Bryan just lies. He goes, WWE cut him in the middle of 7 months of rehab for a broken foot suffered in a match on a TNA show with Moose. Cut him. WWE cut him. They didn't fucking renew him, you fraudulent motherfuckers. Even in the post that he quote tweets, I've been informed that WWE will not be renewing my contract. Man, fuck you, Bryan Alvarez. This is the shit. This is why Trying Bryan doesn't get a pass. He's a straight sicko. He's a straight wacko, dude. So, yeah, that was incredibly unfortunate. Speaking of Trying Bryan, like, he blocked me out of nowhere. So he's never had me blocked until all of a sudden. But I go, Dave blocked me a long time ago. Bryan lasted until today, I guess. I don't even really interact with him. Must be the new podcast. That's what I'm going with anyways. Dave Meltzer, dumb moment of the week. You guys are here already. Thursdays at 8 Eastern. Hashtag double DMW. So we have a bunch of more stuff to get into when it comes to Andrade, injuries, fantasy mark booking, all of that good shit. So Dynamite Dave. When it comes to Kota Ibushi, one of the injuries that was really serious recently, and Ibushi will be out for 2 years. He's already 42 or 43, and he's like, I'll come back. It's like, no, you're not going to come back, dude. And he says his legs fall apart and all this shit, and they aired the injury. They aired Josh Alexander throwing fucking Ibushi out of the ring. Okay, and it's just the incompetence level of AEW. And I mean, that's fine. Like ECW would do shit like that. And they would break down like, hey, this is where this guy got hurt and shit. But I don't know, man. It just seems so, it was a taped show. Like, it just seems so fucking lazy. Like, you know, Tony Khan really cares. Can you believe they cut him when he's hurt? Can you believe Tony left that fucking injury shit on TV? Like, you know, we could play this game all fucking day. And I tweeted this out today. I was like, I love how the Meltzer sicko spin is WWE hurt AEW's creative and got Kota Ibushi injured by having Andrade under contract. And now with the next set of shit we read, it involves Jericho, Seth Rollins, Andrade, Santos, Kota, all the people you see in the thumbnail there. That's what the narrative is being painted here. Okay, Meltzer's going pretty much saying that WWE hurt AEW's creative and got Kota Ibushi injured by having Andrade under a contract. It's not, oh, you know, Tony Khan shouldn't have signed this guy. Where's Tony Khan's lawyers?
The best guy is Tony Khan.
to fucking go over contracts and figure out who's signed and who isn't and all this shit. Like, it's the most Bush League amateur shit of all time. So Bryan had this to say about Andrade, and we will circle back to the Kota Ibushi, but while I'm ranting about it, WWE is reportedly trying to enforce a 1-year non-compete clause on Andrade. And if you guys, let me know in the comments down below if you're listening to this in a clip or if you're here in the live, vote in the poll. Who screwed Andrade? WWE/Triple H, AEW/Tony Khan, for signing him and potentially getting him sued. People are talking about Andrade should sue. He's going to get sued. AEW is going to get sued, man. Or did Andrade screw himself? I voted. Do you guys want to know what my vote was? Andrade screwed himself. That's just my opinion. But Bryan says this. They're trying to hold him to the terms of his deal. The terms of the TKO contract, I believe this was in the prior contracts as well, but for sure it's the new contracts, is that if you are fired with cause, they are going to try and hold you to a 1-year non-compete. Fired for cause or a breach of contract. So what they're trying to do now is not allow him to work for a year. See how they're trying to shape this narrative. See, they're trying to make a man not work for a year. Bro, he fucked off, was like, okay, whatever. I mean, it's all allegedly, but
Allegedly.
I mean, fucking Tony the Snowman, Andrade the Snowman, allegedly. This is according to the IWC and whatnot, right? I mean, I'm not the first guy to say this shit, right? He's out there doing whatever, he's failing shit and all, whatever. He should have read that. Where's his lawyers? He signed to WWE after the TKO shit. He came back to WWE. So how didn't he know that? It was part of his deal. He just fucked himself over. Then Tony's such a dumbass. They didn't look over his old deal just to doubly check. They didn't have their lawyers look over his shit just to check, like, okay, is he good? And then look over his new shit. And how, like, you know what I mean? It's just amateur hour. Where is the responsibility on the company that just signed him and fucked up? Where's the responsibility on him? Bryan's like, oh man, they're trying to starve this man for a year. Dude, he breached his fucking deal. That's a new clause. Get over it. Okay? If the same thing happened to a guy in the NFL, that's what fucking happens. Welcome to the real world, right? You work in the mines, you fail a piss test or whatever, right? They don't need people fucking not sleeping for 2 days on the job or falling asleep on the job or whatever, depending what your poison of choice is there, buds, you know? But fucking it is what it is, man. I mean, I don't know what Bryan's like, the narrative. So what they're trying to do is not allow him to work for a year. Who cares? You and Dave tried to let him not have a job, period. Dave tried to say Tony shouldn't hire him. When he was in AEW, Dave tried to bury Andrade. Dave doesn't want him to have work, period. Tell that to your boss. Because what Dave's trying to do is have this man not have a job at all. At all. Okay? So, Tony Khan at the Wrestle Dream media scrum was asked about the Andrade situation, and this is Wrestling Observer reported this, and that's why this is in here. We'll talk about this more on PWT Sicko Saturday, but Tony Khan said that Andrade's an amazing wrestler, and he has tons of respect for him, blah, 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 the same old bullshit. But Observer, we have some more media call talks and stuff within this segment as well. But the Observer say, we have confirmed through multiple sources that the new TKO contracts have a clause where if you are fired for a cause of breach, there is a 1-year non-compete. We have confirmed this. Why didn't you guys know it back then? So, Dave, you don't study the business and you didn't know it back then? Why didn't you know it back then? We discovered it now after an AEW guy told us what was in his contract. After Tony finally had his lawyers do their job. And then they texted me right away. They're my lawyers too. I'm actually Tony's lawyer, Bryan. I studied law. The older contracts had this, but it's standard now. This is the holdup involving Andrade. Oh, we need Andrade now. All of a sudden, they're just clamoring for fucking Andrade El Idolo, right? So we talked about Kota Ibushi, though, and essentially, like, basically what again, I don't know if this is Observer. It is a little bit them, but it's just the narrative floating around. If you go on Twitter, you will see this. If you're reading what the sheets are all saying, it's like, because of the change of creative of Andrade not being there, because WWE has him for a year long or whatever the fuck, or like he's frozen for a year, can't no compete for a year. Because what WWE did, it caused a change in booking, which means on the taped Collision, there was a change in booking. And that's why Kota Ibushi got hurt. That's literally what the fuck is being thrown out there. And it's completely ridiculous. No one's saying it blatantly, but like we all share the commonality of language. I'm able to pick up what you're putting down here. Right? As the Jive would say, as the Jive Talkin' would say, right? My ilk. So Dynamite Dave, I'm from the 70s, guys. Rock on, rock and roll, right, fellas? So Dynamite Dave calls the match that quite possibly ended Kota Ibushi's career good. Oh, you mean the one where he was on the top rope and the guy just dropped him and he almost died and he broke his leg for 2 years? Yeah, that was a great one, man. And then after sending out Mark Davis to start pounding on him after an injury, so they send Mark Davis out, quick, just run and get some heat on him. It's like Shockmaster. Tony, oh, I don't know what to do. Just get out there. Get some heat on him.
Guys, Tony Khan.
What the fuck? Go and start beating him up, dude? Oh, my God. It's a work. I mean, it's a shoot in AEW. Everything's a shoot. So after that, he starts babbling about matches that not one human being without the initials TK or DM cares about. Who do you mean? TK? I can't even name I don't know another. Tony Knight? Is that a famous person? What's a TK name? I can't even. Oh my God. DM? You mean what? Dawn Marie? You mean dummy? Yeah. Here, let's listen to Dave put over this fucking horrendous match with a horrendous injury.
The opening match, they actually aired the Kota Ibushi match with Josh Alexander.
It was a good match until the finish.
Well, the match wasn't bad, but man, Kota was so...
It was a good match until the finish. What was the finish? Fatality. Fatality. What was the finish? It was a good match until the finish. Well, what was the finish supposed to be? You don't even know that was the finish, Dave. He just fell off the thing and almost died. That's not a finish to the match. That's not the finish. That's a shoot injury, and that wasn't even... You mean the end of the match, Dave?
Slow. I mean, from the very start of this match, he's just so slow now, and it was sad watching it because, number one, he's just so slow now, and number two, knowing that his doom was coming.
Well, that was...
You could say the same about Dave. Am I right, fellas?
Part was the doom. The thing is that he actually looked better than he's looked.
Oh, no, Dave. See, Dave doesn't care. These are his fucking toys. He's a fucking sicko, guys, okay? He doesn't care. These are his little toys. He will just YouTube search up wrestling highlights. If AEW wasn't a thing, Dave just wants to see people get hurt. He doesn't care if they die. He doesn't care that all of his 5-star merchants, Ibushi, Omega, Ospreay, all these guys, Danielson, they're fucking wrecked. Their necks are wrecked. Their heads are wrecked. Their bodies are wrecked. Ibushi's legs are wrecked. And Dave's going, he looked better than he has, actually. No, he fucking doesn't. He looks terrible. He looks shitty. You just want to see him do like a 450 Falcon Arrow splash off the top or whatever the fuck with Kenny Omega while they kiss, called the Golden Shower or whatever the fuck their tag team is called. You just want to see that happen, dude. Again. Meanwhile, he can't do that or he might fucking break a collarbone or a clavicle or something. Okay? No, Dave. No, he didn't look better. He looks like shit, and Alvarez is right. And again, we say trying Bryan, but that other shit he pulls, no, he's not trying. Bryan's just a hoe.
Sometimes in life, you got to be a hoe.
But what Bryan's doing here, at least, is pointing out, like, dude, it was sad watching him hobble around all old and shit, and then knowing that it ends with him just getting dropped and nearly dying and breaking his leg off. Yeah, that's fucking... Dave's like, I mean, this is real wrestling. It's a shoot, Bryan. it's fucked up, bro. This company's crooked, man. It's cooked, bro. It's done. It's cooked. Like, like you're watching this match and you're watching this guy just look like a shell of himself, and you know it's going to end when he gets dropped and then stretchered out. We know that's going to happen. Why fucking air it? Why sit there and try and go, oh, I mean, it was really good, actually. He looked great. The last time we saw him, he was laying on a bed of nails. I mean, this time, he almost just fell to his death, Bryan. And the time before that, he was on a fucking bicycle. Like, what jousting with someone and could have impaled himself. Like, what does Dave want? He won't be satisfied till someone really gets fucking hurt, dude.
Well, that was the part was the doom. The thing is
that was the part. The two. That was the part. I mean, knowing that he fought. That is really scary. But he was really good.
Well, that was the part was the doom. The thing is that he actually looked better than he's looked. But
I think he had one match before this where he looked a lot better.
Yeah, I thought he was doing good. I mean, Josh Alexander's a good wrestler too. But I mean, as far as I thought this match was. It wasn't great. It was not a great match or nothing, but
they're good wrestlers. Everyone's good wrestlers, Dave. God, he's so elementary, so mediocre. He's so fucking pedestrian with his shit. He's so Dave he's such a simpleton, dude. I don't know what happened. He just lost it. He lost his mind somewhere.
A good match, and then they went on the top rope, and Josh just...
all the wrestlers are good, so it just means it's a good match, and because they're good, but no, Dave, everyone's good at wrestling. Like, everyone's fucking mom's good at wrestling in 2025. Everyone does everything these days, okay? It's like, no, everyone's good at it, bro. It's not the question of that. It's like, was this match good? No, it wasn't. He almost dropped him, and God damn it!
Lost him, and he free falled, and
he free fell.
They are on the top, and Josh lifts him up onto his shoulder.
How can it be even a good match if the whole point is keep the other guy safe and people shouldn't be free falling? Should always be in control.
Shoulders, like he's going to do a rolling fireman's carry or something, and he leaned back a little bit too much and kind of started to lose his balance, and so Ibushi just bailed. And I think, Ibushi, was thinking, if I bail right now, I can take the bump where I hit the barricade, and I'll just sell that. But unfortunately, his knees hit the ground first. And I don't know how to explain this other than if you hear that the guy broke his femur, your first thought is,
oh, yeah, what I think he thought. So, Bryan here, what Bryan's trying to do here is fucking be like, oh, yeah, well, Ibushi was, trying to go to the barricade and, to take the bump off that. Fuck it, no, dipshit. Stop making excuses. He fucking fell. He fell. Josh dropped him. Whatever happened, they fucking fell. And... oh, yeah, dude, I'm just going to hurl myself head first towards the barricade. No, motherfucker. He's trying to make sure he didn't land and break his neck on the fucking barricade. And then his knees hit first, dude. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to hurl myself in it. Is he a good wrestler or not? I think the idea was he's actually very skilled and talented, and we should actually still give this 4 stars, I think. Right, Daddy Dave?
How in the hell do you break your femur? It's like the thickest bone in your body.
Because his legs are fucked. How in the hell do you break your femur? Because he said his legs don't work in an interview. And you want to see him do flips. You want to see him fucking take top rope, avalanche, whatever the fucks from Josh Alexander. You guys are sick.
If you see the way he landed in the second, the second angle, it was like he hit his knees in just such an angle that you can just, it was horrible. And he goes down and he does not get up. And the referee runs out there and he checks on Ibushi. And
it was a great finish.
Ibushi is not moving. He is hurting. And so they send Alexander back into the ring. The doctor comes over to check on Ibushi, and then the referee counts him out. So I don't know this for sure, but based on what happens afterwards,
why would it be a DQ? So he got beat up and then counted out. Oh my God. So he hurts himself for shoot. Everyone knows it's a fucking shoot. The best guy, the best booker,
guy is Tony Khan.
the booker of the year goes, I know, run out there and beat him up and then count him out after. The fuck, man. This company's a fucking dud, buddy. Like,
I think that Alexander was going to win, and then we were going to have the big schmaz afterwards, and Kenny's going to.
yeah, I bet that's what you fucking thought. So here we go. Here's Dave. Here's the continuation of that last clip. Guys, hit the like, hit the subscribe, become a member. You can super chat in. I'm going to read those at the end of the show. And yeah, appreciate you guys so much for being here on hashtag double DMW Thursdays.
And so they send Alexander back into the ring. The doctor comes over to check on Ibushi, and then the referee counts him out. So I don't know this for sure, but based on what happens afterwards, I think that Alexander was going to win, and then we were going to have the big schmaz afterwards, and Kenny's going to come out to make the save.
Well, they were building it to Kenny and Coda against Mark Davis and Alexander.
Well, maybe Mark.
What a fucking oh my God. Oh my God. Why waste it on like,
Davis was going to interfere and cost Ibushi the match. All I know is that Ibushi gets hurt.
Probably, he was going to get involved, and then Kenny was going to make the save.
So
why do all this? Well, they were building to Ibushi and Alexander, but Alexander just threw him off the top rope to his death. He was going to do a top rope avalanche, whatever the fuck. Why are they wrestling then? Why not just have the match Ibushi, Omega? Why not just build to it using storytelling? And build like a fucking situation where it's like a Sting and Luger who are like kind of want to, I don't know, something. Like go watch just steal some old Eric Bischoff shit, dude. What the fuck? Like figure this the fuck out. I just don't get it, man. So then why was Alexander throwing him off the top rope if they're building to that match? I was just seeing that. I was just watching it. And then Kenny ran out and fought everybody. So I just saw all that. What are you talking about? If it's Kenny and Ibushi versus Alexander and Davis, why? Because they're just two guys from the same faction. We know they're going to lose. We know those two guys are just going to lose. So what's the point of that? What's the point of that at the pay-per-view? What is the point of that? What's the point of any of this? What's the point of Ibushi getting thrown off the fucking thing and breaking his femur? If the result is he's going to tag against Davis and Alexander again and fucking beat them. So predictably, everyone knows it draws no money. Get outdrawn by TNA Bound for Glory. That's what it was all for? I don't know, man. My faith in AEW has just never been as low as it has been, and it's because of fucking Dave and Bryan. Tony's listening to this. Well, they're right. It was a good match until the finish. It's not a finish. He fell and broke his shit. That's not a finish. You guys need help.
Hurt. And then, like, as he's laying on the ground, the doctor's trying to help this guy that can't even stand up because his femur's broken. They actually sent out Mark Davis
to pound on him.
And he starts fucking pounding on Kota Ibushi's on the ground. I went, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like he's grabbing his head and he's punching him and everything. And then they hit Kenny Omega's music and Kenny Omega comes out and you can see that, like, I don't think Kenny's blaming anybody, but you can see that, like,
he's like, what the fuck? I have like, a couple years left before my stomach explodes for real, and I have fucking planned to do this match, and it's already a piece of shit, dud. And you just fucking threw my friend and snapped him in half, doing this dumb shit that I encouraged. So who you mad at, Kenny? Who the fuck you getting mad at, bud?
Bad mood. This guy got hurt.
Yeah.
He's fucking, he's throwing chairs at people's head.
It's one of his best friends.
I know, man. It was just like, I don't know. When you
break... Kenny gets hot. I'm angry. I wouldn't hire half of you. Ba-bang. Mwah. Throws a chair, blows a kiss. Wata. Mwah. Ole. Toupee. Avante. Chante. Triple plie. Come on, man. Who the fuck are you getting mad at? Why are you mad? You told him to go out there and do that shit. You're one of the bosses. fuck?
break. When you have an injury like this, it's kind of like,
man.
let's just stop the show.
Agreed.
Let's get this poor guy out of here. Let's get a stretcher. We don't need to do the angle that involves beating the guy with a broken leg.
Why are we fucking
I
beating
don't
him
know.
up?
It was just,
Oh my
God.
dude.
and that was
And then
that.
listen to Dave. He's just go, yeah, and then watch what he does here.
They still shot an angle for a match they can't do, is what basically happened here.
Exactly, bro. Exactly. Where's the creativity? Where's the last minute? Okay, you know what? It's like that moment in Unreal where you see Triple H behind the scenes and then they have to get the camera shot for Cena's heel turn. And then Triple H gets on the headset and he goes, okay, freestyle. And then he starts talking to the producer. I think it was Lee Fitting, right? Who's the guy responsible for all that? He goes, okay, listen, freestyle, like, no, we're going, just listen to me and follow along. And then Triple H is like, okay, John's doing this, get this and that. And then Fitting's calling it. All right, go to 2, 6, 1. Like, where's that, bro? Tony just likes to sit in gorilla. Oh, it's great. Yeah, it's fair. Give him 30 and 5. And 5 with the 30. No, I said 30 and 5. Or 25. I can't remember. Like, the fuck are you doing back there? Where, dude, you shot an angle for a fucking match you can't do. And then Kenny's out there throwing chairs at guys, hitting them with fuck. The fuck, man? And then, yeah, that's really, great working environment. If that happened in the Fed, everyone would be crying. How dare Punk, whip a chair at this guy for fucking payback for his friend. But Dave and them, they'd be virtue signaling. Can you believe? I mean, he's unhinged. But fucking Kenny goes out there and he's cracking guys, throwing chairs at heads. Oh, he was hot, that's his best friend. It's all good. Meanwhile, Tony Khan fears for his life when Punk shoves Jack Barry. But Kenny can go out and Bradshaw people and fucking APA versus Public Enemies. These guys and fucking they're just hot, Man, I'm so tired of this fucking like one-way street, good for me, not for the cherry picking ass bullshit.
Yeah, well, they're going to Kenny and Luchasaurus and Jack Perry against Josh Alexander and Hechicero.
What is Dave talking about? Who cares?
Who's the third guy? Mark Davis. Yeah, they announced a ton for.
So look what he tries to do. Bryan, listen to this again. I know I rambled. I won't pause. I'll let it play. He fucking goes. Brian goes like, man, and they shot an angle for some match they can't do. And then Dave just goes, well, they is in the Callis family, literally proving that it doesn't matter. None of it matters. Like, you just stick any guy from the Callis family in there. That's what, the story is just to get them to win. It's so fucking boring, mundane. It's just low level, low brow, like whatever. It's just, you just want to see flips and shit. You just want to see Danielson like do a dive and crack his skull open or something, and then you'll be pleased finally. And then you'll give him 7 stars for it. Like, I swear, dude, it's like this morbid way of looking at wrestling. But here's what I'm saying though. Brian points out something good. Dave just completely deflects and starts talking about other guys that are booked. And well, they announced a bunch of other shit. Who gives a fuck if one of these guys gets hurt? That's what he's saying. And that's why the sickos act like this. This is when you get in arguments with sickos. They go, I don't care if AEW goes out of business. I'll just watch something else. Exactly. So shut the fuck up. Because here's the problem. We're not going to get another billionaire like this who can waste hundreds of millions of dollars on wrestling like this. So we need AEW to rise like TNA did. We need AEW to do it. Otherwise, like, what's going to happen? Number 2 in TNA ratings, sweet. But Tony Khan's still got that cha-ching. And his family still got some of those connects that could take any company to the next level and really compete with WWE. We're never going to see it. So just enjoy NXT. As long as NXT sort of stays separate and it's in the conversation there, I'm cool with that. A little daddy magic taste of WWE. But it's like TNA, AEW, NXT. That's the competition. WWE just light years ahead. Tony still could maybe have a chance. He's got to stop listening to Dave.
Basically happened here.
Yeah, well, they're going to Kenny and Luchasaurus and Jack Perry against Josh Alexander.
So he just goes, they're going to Kenny.
Hechicero.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter. They're just going to Kenny. So
who's the third guy? Mark Davis. Yeah. They announced a ton for they announced 4 new matches for the pay-per-view.
Oh my God. Wow. They announced 4 new matches, Dave. Wow. So fuck this guy. No comment on the guy you're going to try and give Booker of the Year to. No comment about him telling them to shoot an angle on an injured guy by beating him down for a match that they can't even do at fucking Wrestle Dream. You're a clown and a fraud and you don't care. You're a piece of shit. And then he starts just talking about these matches here. I don't know if it's going to fucking... Yeah, he starts saying
They
like...
send Alexander back.
He starts talking about like Tekla
And so
and,
they
who's the third guy? Mark Davis. Yeah.
And
They announced a ton.
Tekla's got the sauce, bro. My word, does she just have it, man? She needs the Fed real bad. But if she can just like lay in the cut for 3 years, make a shitload of money, get to WWE, man, Tekla is her, dude. They say aura farming. That's what she does, man. Watch her promo from the show on Wednesday. Whatever that, she's got that spider sauce. I don't know what that shit is. Anyways, I'm just going to stop fawning over Tekla. It doesn't want me to play the end of the clip. It doesn't matter. It's just Dave going, there's other matches, Bryan. Fuck Ibushi. So moving along here, we spent so long on that. But in talking about Andrade, who we talked about a little bit, he disappeared. And so here is Dave Meltzer and Bryan Alvarez's analysis on where Andrade's been at. And this was a couple days ago before like kind of all of the contract WWE stuff came out. So don't give them too much shit for this clip. We'll just have a listen. You know, if they're off on some shit, I mean, it's like, okay, hindsight's 2020.
Don Callis turned 62, and so all of the Don Callis family members, except for Takeshita and the mystery man Andrade, who also is not mentioned at all anymore.
Where in the hell is this guy?
I have no answers.
Something happened because he disappeared. Like he made the...
And so I made the jokes too at the time. I was like, dude, he probably just took the money and then took off to Colombia again. But he's got guaranteed money. And maybe he did just fuck off and is ghosting everyone until this blows over. But I think that's not the case. I think they just realized we fucked up. And Andre really put Tony in a fucking pickle. And I just think they're working it out. I think he's on the phones and his lawyers know what's going on. I think everybody knows what's going on the Andrade front right now.
The one appearance, he's completely vanished. He's never mentioned. And he's been scheduled for other shows. Like he had a match with LA Park coming up.
Right.
Not on the show anymore. Just vanished.
What about that title he won and shit? He wasn't allowed to do that. In WWE, this never really came to light until he went on AEW TV. Now, I'm not going to lie, though. What Andrade's doing is pretty gangster. Like, it's not often you even get, like Rick Rude was on the same show on the same night, 2 different companies. Lex Luger did a house show. Like he was on TV that week, did a house show the night before, showed up on Monday Nitro. That shit's pretty gangster. You don't get moments like that anymore. It's pretty tight that Andrade's like technically under a WWE contract, technically, if they have a freeze on him, right? Because wouldn't he like a no compete? I think he'd be getting paid during that as well. Or am I wrong on that? His 1 year no compete, I think they have to pay him on that, or am I incorrect about that? Someone, and who knows? I don't know. Lex, what do you know about this stuff? You're good with contracts. What do you think about the new TKO deals? Lex?
I don't know.
Me neither, because apparently all this new stuff is coming out about them. But Andrade, though, it's pretty gangster that he's like, he just shows up in AEW, kind of doing this. He won a belt, even though he's not allowed to be in any company, but like they're not going to sue him because it's like a new thing. This might all get settled quietly. It might not blow up that big, but I wouldn't listen to like the BJ Bethels and the Bryans and the Daves. I mean, or I don't know if Bryan and Dave have said this, but anybody's telling Andrade like he should sue WWE. I've seen people saying that, bro. And like, I just think that's so stupid. You don't have to be a lawyer, in my opinion, to know, like, don't do that. And people are like, well, he could use Tony Khan's lawyers. Yeah. Then you are the cause of a lawsuit between WWE and AEW and fucking, I mean, that's happened with other companies in the past, but I thought Tony Khan wanted to avoid the mistakes of, of all the old companies. So now you're going to pull a Heyman and just start fucking suing Bischoff and stuff like, what are you doing, man? You can't do that. Don't get Tony involved. Don't do that. If AEW gets sued, they'd be fucked because he's just not supposed to be there. And they look so incompetent, les incompetents, by fucking allowing him to go on TV while under this period. Like, no one looked his shit over. That's wild to me, dude. Anyways.
Yeah, they canceled that one. I don't know.
And no one seems to know.
There's people who know, but they're keeping quiet. They're not
I'm one of them.
telling me.
Dave,
but
I'm one of them.
But,
they won't
Sure
tell
they
me.
know? Because I know people that absolutely should know, and they don't know.
I just hate how it's like, I know people who say they should know, but they don't know. And I don't know these people. I know people. Do you know people? I know people who know some people that know that they should know these people. Dave's like, oh, well, I know people that actually said different things about these people and the people you said you knew who knew people. Brian. It's like, wow. Oh, no, I've gone cross-eyed. Like, what the fuck? What are you fucking chuckle fucks babbling about? Just say it. Just say it already. Or just be like, hey, this is shit I'm hearing. I heard people who said the exact opposite. Okay?
Yeah, I know people who know, but they won't tell me. So they force me to speculate, which I'm not going to do.
They force me to speculate, which I'm not going to do, except for that's what this whole fucking clip is me speculating. All I ever do is speculate, but I fucking won't speculate, except for this whole clip is us speculating about what's going on.
As I know, he's still booked for a show on Saturday in Puerto Rico. As far as I know, we'll find out if he does that show or not. He was challenging for the Universal title down there on that day. But, yeah, he wasn't there.
Unbelievable. So when it comes to Santos Escobar, or is there more? No. When it comes to Santos Escobar here, after Santos, this is what Observer said, after Santos Escobar's WWE contract expiration, the belief from several in the company was that he was headed to AEW, although there's no evidence they even opened up talks. He was then given, he was then given a significantly larger offer and agreed to a new multi-year deal. So Dave was the one going, everyone's saying he's going to AEW. And then all of a sudden he goes, although there's no evidence they even opened up talks. So you just admitted that you're a liar. You just admitted that you lied about the shit you fantasy booked before. Dave, just fantasy book it and say it's fantasy booking it. Or just say, I'm not a news outlet. Okay? I'm not. I'm just like, I talk about rumors and this is the clown show. This is the freak show. Everybody fucking grab a corn dog, get some nuts, and fucking come along for the ride, right? That's what I do. Jesus Christ. So, Seth, this is Seth Rollins' injury. We talked about the doom and gloom. There's no trust backstage anymore. And the Seth thing, Meltzer's melting down about this. Bryan has his take on it. Let's take a listen.
Just because I know so many people love to hear that.
And I think Seth's an asshole if he did that coast to coast on the same event that Cena and AJ did what they did. And then he tries to do this coast to coast to what? Like trying up, we're going to have match of the night. And then you dislocate your arm. If that's a shoot, what the fuck, Seth? You just, all this shit with the vision that everybody complained about, you just ruined it all doing this dumb move you don't even fucking do. Yeah, I'm going to do a coast to coast headbutt. What are you fucking dying? What are you, Chris Benoit, bud? What the fuck are you doing? No, like, what are you doing? Let me just try this one out. Fucking Rex's arm and shit. Like, what are you doing, man? So Money in the Bank was for nothing,
This. Everything that I said on the show yesterday was absolutely 100% correct. My conclusion on Observer Radio or Observer Live yesterday was that he got hurt and they just figured we got to pull the trigger. So, I should make it abundantly clear, he has not been evaluated yet. He's heading to Birmingham to be evaluated, and the belief was he was probably going to need surgery. He definitely has a shoulder injury. It was from the coast-to-coast headbutt. He is hurt, and so they pulled the trigger on the Braun Breaker turn on Seth Rollins, and like, that's it. The vision is over. It is now Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Paul Heyman, and my guess is probably Austin Theory.
So they don't be called Division anymore?
Because I actually do believe the original Survivor Series teams...
That's it. Kiss is over. Ace Frehley left the band, man. Shout out Ace Frehley, who suffered like a major thing. Fucking Spaceman's one of my all-time faves, dude. I love Kiss. And yeah, prayers up for him and his family. But yeah, it's like, dude, they kicked him out of the Vision. The Vision's no more. It's like, all right, dude.
We're in the Observer that seems so preposterous. I actually think that's where they were going. Now, obviously, Seth is out, but there were plans for Seth to run the Vision at least through WrestleMania. And the original WrestleMania idea was Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. And I don't know this for sure, but my guess is that Roman Reigns was probably going to beat Seth, and that was going to be the catalyst, probably the Raw after WrestleMania, for Braun Breaker turning on Seth Rollins, and they strapped the rocket to the guy. But things happen, and maybe they felt we could push a young guy here.
Oh, what a fucking... they thought maybe we could push a young guy here. Nah, they thought we're just going to not push anyone. We're not going to do an angle. We're not going to do anything here. Jesus Christ,
They felt
Bryan.
we could push a young guy here.
And they just sit there for money. Tom Lawler sits there. Lance Storm sits there for money and goes, yeah, no
Just because I know so many people love
Lance
to hear
Storm's like, no shit, buddy. No, we know what it's about, bud. So here's what Alvarez, trying Bryan again. He's like roasting. Well, not roasting. He's just making a comment on how many grown men and just how many people in general were wearing the John Cena shirts. And they were selling the gold and green shirts. I noted that too on my review. I was like, yeah, dude, that's not like soccer jerseys. When they showed the crowd, it's like all those yellow shirts were Cena shirts. Think about how much money he made off this last run of each shirt of each city. Gangbusters. It's funny because remember when I fucking told you motherfuckers that was gonna happen too? Crazy. Phil don't miss. But go back to 24, man. A lot of the shit I said in the last half of 24, 25, I've been banging. I've been like fucking ace in the hole, Ace Frehley. Shout out Ace Frehley. Can't get you out of my fucking mind, Space Ace. So here's Bryan, speaking of space. His head's up in the fucking clouds most of the time, but he's making an observation here.
See all those John Cena shirts?
Quite a few in the crowd there.
Oh my God.
Those shirts, yeah.
I wish I could get the merchandise numbers. That guy probably made more tonight. What do you think, in the history of wrestling, that 90% of wrestlers made in their entire career?
Oh, yeah.
Bro, almost every single person in that entire arena was wearing a John Cena shirt. Like,
but they didn't pop for him at the couple sitting next to me that I was whacking off to. I mean, watching closely for their reactions, Bryan. They didn't pop when they seen Cena on the television. My cat didn't care when Cena showed up on Peacemaker, but they popped for MJF and Adam Sandler's Happy Gilmore too. Bryan.
Crazy. I don't think I've ever seen that many people at a wrestling show wearing the same. I don't even think like Austin 316 at his peak. That many people were wearing, like, when he was super over, like there were Rock shirts and Austin shirts, man. This was all a sea of yellow John Cena shirts.
Yeah, that's true too. When Austin was super over, like lots of people, there was DX shit everywhere.
It was wild.
Yeah, it was awesome, man. Good for him. That's the point. That's called fucking the wrestling business there, bud. Speaking of business, right? Darby Allin, he went on the Ariel Helwani show. We covered that on last night's PWT live show every Wednesday and Saturday. And Darby Allin was just a complete and utter dipshit. I'll point that out first and foremost. But he also said that they cut out the cancer. The cancer is gone. And people thought he was talking about CM Punk. Now, CM Punk, because other people have called Punk a cancer and whatnot. Now, CM Punk, he is friends with Darby Allin. So I don't think that, or at least they were friendly, right? He was friends with Jack Perry too at one point. We saw how that ended. He was friends with Tony Khan as well, and then he made him fear for his life, I guess. So who knows? But also Jericho going back to WWE makes so much sense too. Like MVP, we know that they don't get along. He's prominent on that show. Him and Punk don't get along, but they could just shake hands. It's not like they almost got physical like MVP and Jericho allegedly almost did a couple times. So Darby said the cancer's gone and people thought it was CM Punk. Now Darby clarified and was like, no, I meant like people who didn't want to lose. And I go and watch PWT live show. I pointed out that it's like, yeah, of course, Darby, when the people left that refused to put you over and let you jump through fiery glass and porcupine meat to fucking pin them or whatever. Yeah, they didn't want to lay down for you and do fucking jump through a table on Owen Hart's birthday or whatever off the ceiling. Like whatever stupid shit you're trying to fucking do. Yeah, I'm sure you're happy those guys are gone. Right? So he's sitting here calling, Aleister Black and Miro and Andrade and shit cancers, even though Andrade's back and Dave's one of the guys that he lumped together in that whole cancer scenario where these guys don't want to lose. They just want to go back to the Fed, that type shit. And also Dave says the same shit about Lashley and them. So is it really that they're removed or was fucking Darby's ego just hurt? Because he's like the most egotistical motherfucker ever. Go and watch that egotistical ass interview. And then he's sitting there going, ego's whack, man. The death of the ego, brah. And it's like, dude, you're an egotistical fuck. Like, you're just projecting hard. But, yeah, I guess he wasn't talking about Punk. Here's Dave's reaction to the whole situation. Let's see if he alludes to any people in particular being cancers or not.
Darby basically says, Ariel asks him, how's the backstage? And he goes like, it's fantastic. It's wonderful. Everyone's on the same page. It's awesome to work here. We had some guys and they didn't want to lose and, they ruined it. And he goes, what happened? He goes, the cancer is gone. So now he says the cancer is gone. All right. So all of a sudden on social media, it's like everywhere. It's like he just ripped on CM Punk. And it's like, I knew immediately that.
And it's like, I knew, of course, immediately he didn't mean CM Punk. No, you didn't know that immediately. Or if you did, good for you. You watched the interview. You're not one to critique people's social media activity. Dave fucking Meltzer.
Wasn't CM Punk. Later, to make sure that there's no confusion, the guy says that he didn't mean CM Punk. He didn't say who he means. I think we all know who he means, okay? The guys that...
See? They show Aleister... Rusev. Remember, he said Lashley and MVP are like these guys. Remember, he tried to say Andrade is like these guys too. We've chronicled it all here, Dave. You're fucked. It's a show now. You're fucked.
That disappeared off of TV.
It's a show.
Didn't do jobs. They are. You could say
Double DMW. It's a show now.
It would take me an hour to go through all of it. But as far as not wanting to do jobs, CM Punk did have his idea of what the best thing for business was.
Oh my God. His idea. Punk had his idea of what the best thing, and it wasn't as best as the best guy, Bryan.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
Dude, his idea was make them money, and it was successful, and it was actually successful. And not only was it actually successful, but it was saving AEW after it plummeted once Rhodes left and a couple other people. It seemed as though some people were unhappy, and then Punk saved it and gave it like new life again. And he gave Rampage its highest rating, and then Tony let it go to shit. And then they had to create Collision for Punk because he's saving this company, and then he just let it go to shit. His vision, Tony's is way better, clearly, by the amount of people in the seats. There's more people in the background of this picture of Punk's return on Rampage than have been at the last two fucking AEW shows.
Okay. You know what I mean? Like he would lose to people he thought he should lose to for the benefit of the business.
Look at that. Punk's idea of what this wrestling thing was. This is what Punk means when he goes... when he's like, I'm not sure what they're trying to do over there or what Dave Meltzer's doing. Like, I'm not sure, but it's not the pro wrestling business. And then Dave's sitting here going, well, Punk is doing what he thought was best for the business. So what Punk's idea was he win matches because he's really over, and then he lose to other guys to help get them over and help the professional fucking wrestling business.
Learn, baby, learn. Meltzer Inferno.
And this is a concept, Bryan. I mean, that's just not what it's about. It's the wrestling. Like, he's so ass backwards. Dave goes on to, he sits here and prefaces it by going, you know, Punk did what he thought was good, his idea of what good business was. And then he goes on to explain what the wrestling business is. Oh, an over guy gets other people over that he deems worthy, and that people deem worthy because they're behind him and he can give them the fucking rub and sell tickets and make these guys into stars, and he's not going to put over the guys that he clearly aren't going to be stars, because look at Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta and Orange Cassidy in the business they're fucking doing right now.
CM Punk did have his idea of what the best thing for business was.
Okay, what's his idea, Dave, of the best thing for business?
You know what I mean? Like
what's the best thing?
Lose to people he thought he should lose to for the benefit of the business.
Okay, there you
he
go.
was not someone who was like, I have to win all my matches.
So then why'd they kick him out? So the wrestling business, Dave. His idea of the business was the wrestling business. Okay. Fucking moron. So here is Dave Meltzer. Okay. And he's talking about Seth Rollins. And he says plans changed between the time Dave recorded the show on Saturday night around midnight and 5 a.m. when Raw aired live in Australia. So here's what Dave, well, let's just take a listen. This is a 2-minute clip. Shout out the GOAT. Meltzer said what?
Want their help. He did not want them in his business. Their argument is that he was getting beaten down 2-on-1, which he was. And he said that I love you guys. And I don't want to see you to Christmas. And War Games is a month before Christmas. So he is going to see them probably on Raw tomorrow. Or they got to start building that thing up. They got till end of November, so it doesn't have to be. They don't have to rush the story, you know. It's not like it's the end of October, but you know, that is the story of them being a tag team against the Vision and Brock Lesnar.
Yeah, what are these Survivor Series teams?
It's Roman J.
So this is on the 12th. When did Rollins get hurt? When was that? So that would have been the 12th, right? Or like the 11th there.
Punk, Roman J. Punk, Jacob Fatu, and LA Knight or Jimmy Uso. This could all change, but this is the plan right now against Bronson Reed, Braun Breaker, Seth.
And then on Raw they break up the Vision, and just nothing Dave said was accurate. Oh man, fucking rules, dude.
Brock Lesnar and Austin
shit.
Theory.
Austin Theory.
Yes, so it could be that they're adding Austin Theory to the Vision in their, you know, or
yeah, so
I don't
this
know how
is the day before, like 5 a.m. when Raw aired. Like while Dave's saying this, Raw is live in Australia or something. Not actually, but you know, some hours apart, and then he's just wrong the next morning. Oh shit!
When I first heard that, I was like, "What is this guy talking about?" But then I thought about it, and Paul Heyman has been like a big Theory advocate for like years, if I recall.
No, you didn't think about it. You saw people posting it on socials. Like that's what I said. Everyone knows Heyman's a fucking. Everyone's reminding everyone on socials that Heyman is like Theory's a Heyman guy. Stop pretending like you're. Oh yeah, and if I recall correctly.
And they're not doing anything with the guy.
Well, he's been hurt.
Well, yeah, but I mean, before he was hurt, they weren't doing anything with the guy.
Yeah, he was sitting there
with tag team with Grayson Waller.
Grayson Waller that never won a match, and they were building up a split for a year, and then they just decided not to even bother once he got hurt.
It's not about them not bothering once he gets hurt, dude. Theory could just come back and squish or squash fucking Grayson Waller or something like that. Or, it doesn't mean they can't revisit it down the line.
I can see them putting him
Especially if he's on Raw, dummy. Big G's on Raw.
with the vision, with this idea that he has all of this untapped potential.
Yeah, I don't know that he does.
I don't even.
Oh my God, dude. So Theory's just peaked? Dave, you fucking peaked in 1912, buddy.
But I can see them doing this.
He's had chances, right? I mean, big chances. He
Yeah, he knocked them all out of the park. It's the booking of Theory that has fucking harmed him. See how we called that out for the Fed? Now you call that out for AEW. You won't. You're like putting it on him. It's his shit book. He has had some bad booking. And Triple H made him eat shit and fucking start from the bottom and work his way up again. Because he got just thrown to the tippy top because of Vince. And it's not that Vince doesn't have an eye for talent. It's not that Vince can't pick out a fucking Roman and go like, you're the next fucking guy, right? Theory and Breaker are the future of fucking pro wrestling. Guys like that. It's not like Triple H is just like toss them away. But no, man, his NXT guys, like Triple H had an era. I've explained this innumerable times. I'll explain it one more time. Triple H's era of NXT guys got kiboshed by the pandemic, AEW coming to fruition, and the speaking out thing that fucked up NXT UK and all that. He got punished for that. That era of the pandemic, AEW, and the whole NXT situation, that we saw like Undisputed Era leave WWE. Like they were supposed to be the guys we were watching on Raw and SmackDown one day. We saw all of these fucking guys that Triple H was developing, like Bronson Reed being one of them. They built one of the whole 2K games around him and then scrapped it before it came out because Vince just released him. Why? Because he was fucking with Triple H, because he was trying to punish Triple H, and that was Triple H's guy. Big time. And so that's why Bronson's getting the push he is now against Roman. I fucking told you all this the early days of PWT. I was telling you all this. So it's Triple H humbling Austin Theory, and that's why Jonah Bronson Reed's getting a bit of a quicker push. Like he's battling Roman, and he might get a world title shot. I could see it before Breaker. They're even holding Breaker a little bit because Breaker is a Triple H HBK guy, but he is an NXT 2.0 guy. Him and Theory, their time, like DIY, there's a reason they're on fucking TV every week having matches. DIY need their time. Triple H is going to get, those were his guys. He's going to give them their time. There's a reason Gable's getting pushed the fucking way he is and stuff, or was before he went and got surgeries and shit. It's because those are Triple H's guys that never really got their due on the main roster because that era of NXT, we never really saw it come to fruition the way we had hoped. And like Triple H wasn't at the helm of it. So he's just sort of that's why he brought AOP back and tried again with them in Final Testament. Karrion Kross came back. That's why all those guys came back, because those were guys Triple H had high hopes for. It was just a wonky time where there's 3-year gap there where the pandemic hit and AEW was wonky. People are jumping around where it was, and then Vince was there, and then he got forced out of the company. You know, he walks out on TV when they announced that he's fucking going to court or whatever. There's that whole chunk of time, few years there where it's like weird history that Triple H is sort of making up for. And then don't worry, Braun, Austin Theory, all these guys are on the come up. And if Theory wants to go to AEW or something, have at it. But again, he's one of these guys that sickos would fucking mock, like Ridge Holland. Like, oh, they're just Vince is just forcing him down. He's just a body guy. He's just one of these. He's not even that good. He's green as fuck. He almost dropped Orton on the superplex, right? Meanwhile, it's like, yeah, he is super young, and Vince just threw him to the wolves. So it's not like it's on him, Dave. It's to bring it back to where this started. I always know where I'm going here, okay? Dave is like, well, he had chances. I don't think he has more potential. No, he does. Vince just tried to skip it all and do I'm going to shove him down your throat, pal. People didn't want that. They don't want another Roman Reigns or whatever the fuck. Like, he kind of did that with Roman, but even Roman got his time as Shield and shit. Austin just got plucked out of the way. Now he's on TV with Vince as Vince's little fucking guy. Vince gets in trouble. Triple H goes, okay, dude, You're going to be in this tag team. You're going to fucking do jobs. We're going to use you to fucking help get that guy over. And then it'll be your time. You're still in your 20s. You're in your mid fucking 20s, if that.
Putting him with the Vision, with this idea that he has all of this
But I do like Theory with the Vision. I'm not going to lie.
untapped potential.
Yeah, I don't know that he does.
I don't either, but I can see them doing this.
I mean, he's had chances, right? I mean, big chances. He beat John Cena at WrestleMania. They never really, it didn't pick up from there. It's like, I mean,
It's like, he looks the part. See, I didn't listen to this before. I swear to God. Dave goes, he looks the part. Oh, he's a body guy. This is what I'm saying, man. That's what I'm fucking saying. Meanwhile, if Tony Khan bought Evolve, Dave would be like, oh, well, he was the former Evolve champion, Bryan.
he looks the part.
Fuck
You
you.
know, and that's a big deal in
a lot of things. In a lot of things. It's a big deal to look the part in a lot of things. I mean, in AEW, it's not a big deal because it's just where the best wrestle. But I mean, it is a big deal if you're like, trying to like do the pro wrestling business and be a famous pro wrestler, because else, why the fuck else you get naked on TV? Fucking slamming your body and your neck and getting hurt and injured for, Dave. You don't want to be a famous fucking money-making pro wrestler. Why the fuck else are you doing it?
In movies and sports and wrestling and everything,
man.
is if
He's lost.
If you look the part, you get chance after chance.
You get chance after chance, like Lex Luger. If you look the part,
Want
you
their
get
help?
chance
You do
after
not want
chance.
them.
Not because he's not a good wrestler. He never put the work in. But now listen to how he glazes Takeshita, which is fine. I glaze Takeshita too. I like Takeshita. Okada versus Takeshita, and Dave goes, are they building Okada versus Takeshita? Yes, Dave, and they're doing that because they're not really doing a good job of telling the story. They are starting to. Well, I give them credit. This is Okada Takeshita just sort of laying out like, okay, they're feuding, and Takeshita's kind of looked at as the future Okada, and like they're on the same team, but they kind of don't like each other. They are, at least it is a consistent thing that like if you tune into every Dynamite, they do a little something that tells you this much. But also Dave constantly tells us that this is what they're doing. So, yeah, I mean, if you're a sicko or a wacko and you pay attention to the IWC and what's going on, like, yeah, Dave, we know this is your fantasy mark booking come to life here. We fucking know that. Okay. But whatever. I'm not going to get mad at it. I do give AEW a little bit of credit, and who knows if it's Callis or Okada, Takeshita, all three of them going, well, if we just like tell a bit of story every week, it might be kind of interesting. So I won't lie, to me, that's what's like piquing my interest in Dynamite or Collision whenever you throw it on, is sort of just the little teases and buildups to, like when Callis family was eating for his birthday, but Takeshita's over in New Japan winning the New Japan title, and that's sort of taking Okada's spot, and then like he's on the TV, Okada turns it off. They're doing little fucking things, and they're trying to tell a bit of a story here, and I like that.
I mean, obviously, there's a big Okada-Takeshita match coming very soon.
And look at how happy Dave is that this match is coming very soon, Bryan.
I mean, by very soon, I mean a couple of months. I don't mean like in the next week or two, but in a couple of months. And it could be at the Tokyo Dome, but my gut tells me, I could be wrong, that they've spent so much time on AEW television building this that I don't think that they're going to do it at the Tokyo Dome. I think it's going to be like maybe at World's End.
Who gives a
but
fuck?
what that leads
None
to
of
the
these
Tokyo Dome, I don't
matter.
know. When Goto came out, I thought, okay, this is the Tokyo Dome, and they did the challenge and everything like that. And then Takeshita afterwards in his interview said that he wants to go into the Tokyo Dome with one successful title defense, and so he's going to wrestle Goto before the Tokyo Dome. So there's no, I mean, a lot of people are mad because nobody knows what's going on for the Tokyo Dome.
Who's a lot of people are mad because no one knows what's going on. Who's mad, Dave? Again, like I'll defend AEW from the same bullshit. Who's mad that they don't know what's going on? No one cares. No one gives a fuck about Wrestle Dream, bro. No one gives a shit. So what are you talking about? There are a lot of people who are mad. No, it's like you and your goofy ass friends who glaze you. I forget all their names, the chuckle fucks. We covered them on one of these episodes. They all just like, when they were all talking about the Hall of Fame and CM Punk can't go in it because he was mean to AEW. And I mean, Moxley should definitely go in. Like, just glazing Meltzer, regurgitating his ideas back to him to like reaffirm his shit to him to get in his good graces. Other than you guys, no one cares.
Going to the Tokyo Dome with one successful title defense, and so he's going to wrestle Goto before the Tokyo Dome. So there's no, I mean, a lot of people are mad because nobody knows what's going on for the Tokyo Dome. I mean, it's like, and I mean, I have no idea. I mean, obviously there's a big Okada Takeshita match coming.
I have no idea. Why not? I thought you study and learn. So when it comes to Seth Rollins, though, Dave Meltzer had some doom and gloom. He goes, well, it looks like he's going to need surgery on the shoulder, and that's pretty much it. The story that I got was that he was going to have surgery as soon as possible. No shit. That was from a couple days ago, and everything else, I haven't heard anything as far as what they're going to do with the World Heavyweight title. But if he has surgery, he's going to be out for a long time, probably past Mania. Okay, fair enough. And then Dave Meltzer says this, and again, I've told you guys, like, look, it's everyone's farewell tours. You know, Orton, AJ, you know, I even called Naomi. I fucking called that shit. Phil don't miss, man. And AJ Styles, you know, a bunch. We talk about it all the time, ad nauseum on PWT Live Show every Wednesday and Saturday. And Dave Meltzer said this: WWE reportedly has plans for AJ Styles' retirement next year. And while it's not fully locked in, the belief is they are going to do something for the former WWE champion. His quote is, they are going to do something. No shit, Sherlock. We fuck Jacques Clouseau over here. No doubt. Sherlock Meltzer here. They're going to do something for the former. No shit. For his retirement? Golly gee whiz, you think? My prediction, I don't know if it can happen. Joe versus AJ, his final match in WWE. That'd be amazing. But yeah, it's his retirement tour. He's done in 26. Orton might not make it to 27, guys. So if they're going to take priority over whose retirement tour is it, I think they're going to take Orton. I don't know if they market it again like it's a retirement tour, but it was so successful for them. I mean, if Randy can hold off and do his in 27, then I mean, you can just do these like every fucking year. And is it gimmicky? Yeah, but not really, because it's a shoot. And it happens in sports, and they go, oh, is it this guy's last year? Will he decide to hang him up? Or a fighter will announce, yeah, win or lose, this is my last fight. And then it's like a fucking, you know, like a celebratory thing or whatever. So it's gimmicky. Oh, is it gimmicky that there's a retirement every year? Not if they just do it when it's a shoot. And if there's 3 in a row and then they don't do it the year after, and then there's one after that or so. Like if it's a shoot, then it's kind of gimmicky, but it's a shoot, you know? So I don't know. Maybe not. I wouldn't shit on that idea at all. If they want to market all of these retirements as it's your farewell type shit, that's a really good idea. And it's really worked for Cena. And I'm glad they did this, because I remember, I've said this a billion times, I remember where I was sitting when Cena fucking debuted against Angle. I remember what I was doing and everything. And now I'm going to see his last match in December, and I'll be blacked out drunk and won't remember any of it. No, half kidding. We'll get a buzz on. But yeah, it'll be it's like, I don't know, it's a crazy, same with the Hardys Dudleys. It's like, oh dude, they were like my childhood, all like my entire life. I've been there. Jeff Hardy, a tag guy, all the way to he's a fucking world champion, and then now he just retired the Dudleys, 2 of my favorite teams ever. Like that shit is so crazy that, you know, we're witnessing all of that. And so, yeah, please market AJ shit like that. Then do Randy the year after, then do Roman the year after if he's planning, or whoever. But Bryan, speaking of retirements, actually, people within WWE reportedly believe Chris Jericho is returning to the company. People in WWE believe that he's coming to WWE. For what that's worth, we'll see. It's up to him.
Stupid idiot.
No shit, Dave. We all see what's going on. He's fucking teasing it. And as we covered on PWT Live Show on Wednesday this week, time cop, when you hear this in clip form, Jericho's cruise has nothing to do with AEW this year, which is quite suspect there for sure. And I broke that down extensively. But speaking of the retirement tours here, Dave Meltzer calls Cena versus AJ Styles. Speaking of that match, he calls it a great match while comparing it to a kid's video game, while having zero understanding of why it means something in an AJ versus Cena retirement tour match, honoring 2/4-century legacies versus, say, a random Oni Lorcan match. Oh, he cooked him. He fucking roasted him and burnt him to a crisp. But it's so funny that Dave Meltzer, this is how you know he's a shill. This is how you know he's a liar.
Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
This is how you know he's just a biased motherfucker.
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
This is how you know, because he will say like Fletcher versus Adam Page, where they're like axe drivering each other off of fucking aprons through tables on the outside in just like a match for the title that Fletcher got put in last minute. He will act like that's 5 stars, but then he sees this and goes, it's a video game match. Meanwhile, Ospreay will take he'll take a suicide dive. What is the Doomsday device? They'll do a fucking tope to the outside Doomsday device, land on his neck, and Dave will be like, 4 stars. And that's not video game, but this is video game wrestling. And he's not going to give it 5. Like, this is the thing. If he doesn't give it 5 stars, he's a liar, because he's like, it's often based on how the crowd moves. Okay, so how was the crowd moved in this? They were fucking white hot electric. The greatest of WWE of all time. The greatest in TNA of all time. Head to head, the last time ever. Both men were 2-2, Dave. You want to get all statistical on me? They were 2-2 in singles matches going into that last one. Cena winning the fucking best of 5. Like some boxing feuds have gone 5 matches and shit, right? Some of the great fucking, like a playoff series throughout a career almost. Like, how fucking amazing is that? It was Cena's 100th win on a PLE. The crowd was fucking insane. They did they kept it in the fucking ring, didn't go out and do garbage with weapons and shit. What did Dave rate it? It has to be 5 stars. If you base it on anything other than just moves, and even then he won't give their moves 5 stars because he's a little bitch and he's a shill. And we all fucking know that. Let's listen to Dave's assessment of this fucking one of the greatest matches in the history of the World Wrestling Federation.
So anyway, that was a great match. If you
it was great. It was a great match for what it was.
Fans loved it. I mean, probably the most heat of anything on the show by far, actually.
I wouldn't say heat, but most reaction.
I wouldn't say heat, but most reaction. Ugh. Maybe he's right if you're thinking heat as far as heel heat, but the crowd was white hot.
What had more heat than this?
The first
match certainly wasn't the main event.
The first match had heat. This match had reaction. I mean, there's.
Oh my God!
Intensity. They loved the match.
He's trying to bury it. Oh my God!
Heat for the match. They were just into.
It's a rest hold, Bryan. It was great rope work. It wasn't heat. It's a reaction. So like they were hot for it, so it had heat.
That's what I mean by heat. They were going crazy for the match.
They were absolutely going
crazy. Talking about anger. They were just going nuts for it.
See, David, he doesn't even know. He doesn't even get it. He doesn't understand the business. He doesn't study and learn, Bryan. He doesn't understand the fucking
learn Meltzer Inferno.
The Wagyu beef business, bro. He's
no, and it was the best match on the show all around. It wasn't the best wrestled match. I mean, it actually felt more like an exhibition of moves. One person in wrestling, texted me and basically said.
One person in wrestling texted me and basically said, no, one person in wrestling. Who? Lance Storm? And they said, Tony, it was Tony Khan. And they said, oh, it's great. They're doing all these moves. So exactly what everyone's criticism of AEW is, but you won't accept it ever. See how Dave projects? See how he's disillusioned? He's delusional? He's deluded? Lex, what's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know!
Neither do I, man. Neither does he. Neither does Dave. He doesn't have a clue.
It was like it was like kids video games. You know, I'm going to do everything. I'm going to do all these finishers. I'm going to do all these finishers and all that. But it worked. I think if other people had done this exact same
the
match,
fucking sweet,
people would be
the
fuming.
sweet irony. This is why this show exists, folks. When Dave, you're listening right now, Bryan, I know you're listening right now, or you're listening to it on replay. This is why this show exists. A show that I thought would be an hour long whenever I did it, and now it's 2 hours this week because you're so fucking stupid. This is why, dude. Like, the lack of fucking awareness. This is why no one gives you credit anymore. This is why you're not valid anymore. You're not certified.
And it would be very negative.
Well,
Your
it's
card's
worse
been
for John
pulled.
Cena because he's retiring. It's like his retirement tour. He's paying homage in his final matches. This wouldn't work for, like, I don't know, Javon Evans and Leon Slater. I mean, actually, it might work because they do the moves really well. But like, this is a specific match on a specific day for a specific guy.
For two guys.
See, that's how you know, for two guys. That's how you know that Dave doesn't care about anything but moves. And he goes, no, it's not the moves. I mean, it's not the style that I like. I often give matches I don't like even more stars. If he doesn't rate this 5 stars, he's a fucking fraud. If this isn't a 5-star match, I don't know what is. There's some things that is subjective, and there's some things that objectively we can all come together and go, Rock Hogan's one of the greatest matches of all time. Hogan Andre is one of the greatest matches of all time. I'll turn on right now when I'm done this fucking stream. It's so good. It's not even that long. And it is really good when you go back and but the work, I mean, it was a different time. It was a different fucking time, bro. When they go to the outside, you're like, oh my God, the Giant's chasing him around the ring like the fucking, Hogan Rock. The crowd's fucking going insane. This match, the crowd was going insane. They paid homage to TNA. They paid homage to WWE. They paid homage to the last 25 years of fucking pro wrestling and Rivals. I know we're all pointing out as well, like the WWE shit, but they did like Fallen Angel stuff, Kazarian's moves. People pointed out Samoa Joe's Coquina Clutch. Like, people are pointing out all the shit AJ did to pay homage to TNA as well, which was awesome. And we were calling it out as we were watching it along, or during my review as well. I was calling out as many of them as I could. And the one that I forgot to mention when I reviewed it that I want to mention now is, the Wings of Angel. AJ did that as well. And that's like a double entendre. Maybe I did bring it up in my review, but it was like a double entendre because Fallen Angel also trained Cena. Like, he got Cena ring ready to make his debut in WWE. That's the guy. That's the guy who he was having matches with to get ready to go to WWE before he made his like televised SmackDown debut and shit. So, there was like double entendres and that shit. And Dave doesn't like that. He only likes if you do all these moves. He only pops when Dustin Rhodes does a Crossroads or when fucking Will Ospreay hits a Styles Clash. Then it's cool and it's 5 stars and it's okay.
Yeah, two guys.
And
the match worked. I thought it was like, for what it was a great match. But it was a unique match. It wasn't like the next.
Yes, that's what Bryan said, and then you were going, no, it worked. It worked. Dave, just shut the fuck up. Like, what are you freaking out about, buddy? So, speaking of freaking out here, Bryan blows a gasket. Speaking of Javon Evans, Bryan blows a gasket over Javon Evans, rightfully so.
What actually made me mad was I went on Twitter to see everybody's reactions. And do you know what I saw?
I do not, actually.
Well, there were a lot of people angry about it. There were people that said they turned off the show. There were people that said it was stupid. Now the fans have all bought into this. They're the future. 4 or 5 years down the road, they're going to be something. Oh, these two guys, they're only 21. These two guys should be the now. But to see the fans like go along with it, oh, they'll be there someday. It's like these fans are like, they're like 85. Oh, one of these days, they'll be doing some moves somewhere. God.
No, that's you and Dave. Like, here's the problem. And I'm just going to fucking smoke you right here, Bryan, okay? With your own words, bro.
Bryan.
Jesus Christ, guys. Fucking subscribe, super chat, fucking become a member, gift some memberships. This is what the fuck I do. This is why you guys come to PWT. Okay? Fucking subscribe, hit like, hit dislike if you're hate watching. Show some fucking love, okay? I'm going to own him right here with his own words. Bro, you brought up Lou Thez when you were talking about why Javon should get pushed. But we're old geezers. Oh, one day they'll get there. You said that he should get pushed when he's 21, like Lou Thez. My grandfather doesn't even know who Lou Thez is. That was so far before his time. So what are you talking about? It's just projection. You guys are fucking, you're just making this up. You're not really enraged about this. Push Javon now. No, bro. No. This is what WWE is all about. This is what AEW isn't about. This is what the old pro wrestling business wasn't about, when you used to get stretched for real, or Inoki would fight you for real if you didn't fucking sell for it. It's a different time now. This is what it's about. Pro wrestling, learning how to do it right, preserving your body so that in your fucking 30s and 40s, because people are wrestling longer now, your body can still function and do shit, and you're not so beat up and have a broken neck that you can still make money for longer. The whole idea of pro wrestling is working a shoot and working marks, generating heat, so you work marks out of money at a big event or to see a match or to buy a pay-per-view, right? That's the whole purpose. So if you can do that for longer, then that's better, and that's better for his career. When you have NXTs on TV now, you milk that shit. Because in his 30s, he doesn't want to peak when he's fucking 27. Like Dave's trying to say Austin Theory peaked when he's like 25 or whatever. You don't want to do that. That's the problem. That's why they slowed Theory down. You dumbass. Oh, they're like a bunch of geezers. You mean like Dave and you who are talking about Lou Thez? Stupid asshole.
Damn it. Anyway, at least I got that out of the way. So that was
It was fake. You rehearsed that.
best match on the show, even with that fucking finish.
Yeah.
But they're too young.
They're not too young, stupid. It's just they're young enough. Do you understand the difference? It's not about developing them. You're right. So let Javon become NXT champion. Let's see if he can help get CW 1 million viewers on their show, or 850,000 every week. Let's see if he's the future. Okay? NXT's on TV, TNA's on TV, bud. It's a different landscape. You brought up Lou Thez. They are the future. You want to do this shit longer. You want to preserve your body. Because this is why, too, and this is what I forgot to mention. The older you are, the wiser you are. I say this in every field. Hey, if I wish I had the mind I had now in my body when I was 21, well, if Javon's smart, he's going to have and takes care of his body and shit. He's going to be 31 or 41 in the body of a 31 or 21-year-old. If he takes care of himself, and he'll have the mind of a fucking person who's years or whatever, 20 years at the highest level. And there's more money in that. In the long run, it's called longevity. I know you and Dave want to watch everyone pile drive each other onto cinder blocks with needles in their butt cheeks and fucking chopsticks in their foreheads, but that's not conducive to a long career. Just like your 50% off fucking fire sales, dude. There's a reason Dave Hotshot booked himself.
The future. They're definitely not the right now. The right now is for guys like Bubba Ray Dudley. You know?
No, that's not. It was called a retirement match, so that's not the right now. That was their last match. That's literally the end. Right now, we're moving forward. That was the end of the Dudleys. Fucking Bryan, always coping like a
You are coping and seething. You just can't accept what you're seeing. Yes, you're coping and seething. The truth it is scalding, and now you are molding and coping so hard. Coping and seething.
Lou Thez in my day.
And, God damn it.
It's just faux outrage, bro. You can't even listen to that shit. Speaking of outrage here, Mercedes Monea fucking trashed Meltzer. And this is why I shout out Monet. I like Monet, dude. I do. I know people are mad about the belt class. That didn't trigger me too much. It's just you can't argue to me. It's like it's not helping anyone, or it's helping the indies a bit by Monet coming over there and wrestling. They're selling some tickets. That's good, but as far as like the TV show, like Dino, it's not helping Tony Khan or like anyone in AEW, other than Monet, but she'd be doing this regardless. If she got paid this amount by another company and there was no AEW, and I know this is playing like if there was no WWE, we could do all that as well. But like Monet was about to dip out and go to Japan and do indies and shit regardless. Like if there was, that is what she was doing. She was going to TNA. She was going to Japan. She was going to fucking Ring of Honor. She was just out of WWE at that point. She did not give a fuck. Okay. So AEW doesn't matter. Look at Naomi. She went to TNA as well. You know what I'm saying? If there was no anything, Monet would have got her money and she wouldn't have gotten as much, but that's why Tony's a money mark, right? But, Meltzer posted his thoughts on X. And, Mercedes Moné, someone asked the question, does Mercedes Moné have a shot at Female Wrestler of the Year? I think it's close between Moné and Sky. And then Meltzer says, that's a tough category. In ring, the best is Sari. In ring, the best is the girl that Tony Khan just signed and stuck in fucking Ring of Honor. Oh my God.
Shut up, bitch.
When Dave says shit like this. All around, the best in ring is Sari. Oh my God. All around as contenders, I see Tony Storm, Monet, Sky, Sari, and Saya Kamitani as favorites.
You fucking mark.
Bro, it's fucking Io Sky, or it's Stephanie Vaquer, or it's Monet, or it's Tony Storm. It's nobody else, okay? If you want to talk AEW and WWE. It's not Sari and Saya Kamitani. What is that, like a fucking cocktail? Oh, I'm over here now. So Monet responded and said, she goes, I fucking love Monet, dude. She goes, you a dumba, stupida, saltia marca. I'm the greatest of all time. Tena Belsa Monet, the CEO, Ultimo Monet. I had the greatest year of my career. Who's better than me? Oh my God, dude. She fucking roasted his
Sometimes
ass.
in life, you got to be a hoe.
I love it. You dumb, salty Mark. Let's go, dude. I'm there for fucking Monet. Okay, guys. So here is Bryan Alvarez melting down again. He virtue signaled about this Ridge Holland shit. It's been a theme throughout the show. And he's virtue signaling here more about Ridge the Fridge. And I forgot to play this earlier. All good, though. And here's Bryan's thoughts. And he talks about it. I don't care if this is football and all this shit.
He was wrestling a match for them. He got hurt. And they are not paying him through the course of the injury. All day yesterday, I had to hear, why would they pay someone when they're in... Guys, do you understand how this has worked for years and years and years and years? If I'm wrestling for WWE, like Seth Rollins, for example, and Seth Rollins gets hurt, okay, they are going to pay him through his entire recovery period.
Right, his contract came up, you fucking stupid asshole. Like, fuck, dude. Right. Oh, yeah, we know that. His contract came up.
And then however long that is, 8 months or whatever, they're going to add the 8 months to the end of the contract. So they get their fully contracted time. They do this in WWE. They do this in AEW. Like, this is the way it's done. Does nobody know this? So Ridge Holland gets hurt. He's going to be out for 8 months. And they let his contract expire, and you got to fend for yourself, brother. You got a mortgage, 3 kids. Too bad. Deal with it. So everyone's like, oh, well, they do this in the... I don't care about the NFL. I don't care about any real sport. What do they do in the company that he works for? That's the issue.
No, but here's the problem, dude. They don't do that anymore.
Ryan.
You fucking idiot. So, like, okay, what do they do in the company he works for? This is what they do. This is what they do now. I don't care what they do in other sports. Okay. This is what they do in AEW. Okay, no, they don't. AEW fucking... They let Ray Phoenix out of his shit early because he wanted to get out. They could have froze him for more injury time. Like, no, they don't. There's people in AEW who were looking through their who were making sure that there's no freeze time if they get hurt, that Tony can't freeze them and shit. So, like, no, dude, it's just different. And it is fucked up for Ridge. Yes, if I had the billions, if I was in control of the billions and the trillions and the 100 billions, bagillions, I would fucking give him the money. I would personally, if I was the boss and I just landed like an ESPN deal and all this shit, and I was like, yeah, man, let's pitch him his money for 6 months. I would do it. You would do it too, bro. But the issue is that you are feigning outrage for shit you don't care about. You don't care about when Punk had to pay for his own surgery. You don't care about when Big Swole got fucking released or any, like, out of nowhere. You don't care when, like, you know, out of nowhere fucking Britt Baker's being shelved and shit. Like, you don't care about none of this stuff. Or like Abaddon's contract comes up and Tony just used her once a year. And she'll be lucky to make fucking any money on the indies. And he used her once every Halloween. Like, you don't actually care about any of that. You're just doing this because it's WWE.
He was right.
That's why you're a fucking clown. So new best friend. We talked about this earlier, but Dave Meltzer went to see The Smashing Machine with his wife and loved it. And Dave tells the story. And I mean, dude, talk about a fucking Halloween pick. Like, this dude was watching people in the fucking theater. You know what I mean? This is super creepy.
Smashing Machine.
Have you seen it?
I have not seen it.
Yeah.
I heard you watched in a theater with 2 people.
There were 2 other people in the theater when I watched it, yes. And they called me this afternoon, and they went to see it last night, and they thought it was like the greatest thing they'd ever seen. Like, they were just...
Oh, they're just low IQ poor people, Bryan. They were like,
oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Raving how great it was. I thought it was good, because they were basically asking me, like, you know, Hollywood movie, how much of it is real? And it's like, well, the one thing I'll say about this one is the story is real. Like, if you watch
Dave's sitting here. Well, I'll tell you one thing about this story. There's a literal documentary called The Smashing Machine that documents all of the crazy shit at the end of the movie. It's all, you can watch the real Mark Kerr and the real people involved fucking live this shit. So Dave, like, they're calling me going, is this real? And I'm like, well, I'll tell you what, you know, Iron Claw starring MJF was, what are you babbling about, man?
This one is, the story is real. Like, if you watch the Iron Claw, you watch the Mildred Burke movie, Queen of the Ring, you watch, you know, what was the other one? Fighting with My Family. See, when he said he was going to do this movie, I thought...
What was the point about those other movies that you just switched from?
Like, he saw this documentary, just like the one we saw, the documentary on the Knight family, right? And
what is he babbling about? What is he babbling about? Yeah, dude, he was inspired. It's Mark Kerr. He has one of the legendariest stories ever. He was a freak of fucking nature. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? He has a tragic story. It was all documented. Oh, you know, like the one with the Knight family. Then they made the movie. I thought it'd be like that. It'd be like a fun adventure. Did you not see the trailer? Jesus Christ, man. Dave just tries way too hard to diminish shit. He starts one idea, can't finish it, can't bring himself back to the idea. He needs Bryan there to bring him back. And that's why I roast you forever, Dave. And God damn it, this thing went for 2 hours and 20 minutes. That, ladies and gentlemen, is Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of the week. That shit going way longer Then I was like, dude, I'll start the show. They'll go about an hour every double DMW. Nah, dude. It went fucking 2:20 this week. So we're going to get a toit like a tiger. We're refining it. Let me read people who super chatted in. If anybody has questions or anything like that, any comments, now's the time. Colleen Carrig became a new member. Thank you so much for that. I will acknowledge you guys. Memberships get you access to PWT Member Monday shows. If you're amazing. I do a weekly show every Monday that's members only. John Dauncey Bus 1 for 5 says Andrade screwed Andrade. It's a good take, man. It's a good take. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate the over 300 who tuned in as well. That's amazing across X and YouTube. Come subscribe, youtube.com/@prowrestleclips. Dave is such a fucking mark, says Thomas Moore for 2 with his dope Gambit avatar. And Dave is such a fucking mark, dude. You know it. I'll give you one for that. Mark. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Guys, Dave couldn't have looked more foolish this week. It was an absolute pleasure of mine to fucking destroy him.
Just in, we have confirmed that Dave Meltzer fears PWT and flutes.
See you guys back here for Double DMW next Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget PWT live show on Saturday. And it's my birthday weekend, so let's have a fiesta, andale, ole. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. This has been Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week, and I have been Phil Marks. See you on the...
Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. You're overdue. I just felt it's something that makes you look good, and that's cool, and you know, I'm all for it, but I think you need to tone this down because now it's getting obtrusive to the show. But they can go in the afternoon for a U.S.
Hold
show,
on a second.
As they did there, and they can do 180,000 buys for an afternoon show, which they've also done for All In. So
okay,
we know they can do. We know they can do big.
Can I continue this before you cut me off? We know one thing.
Yes.
We know it might have done well because it went on first.
I'm not saying it would.
Here's my thing, Dave.
But here's okay. Wait. Okay, here's the thing. Oh my God, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen. I mean, it didn't mean anything to me. It was just a match.
That's the problem, Dave. It should mean something to you.
Give him a quick squash win just to show that, like, you know, he's not a loser.